Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to Undisputed live from Los Angeles. I'm Jen Hale, here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, gentlemen.
Number 2 joined the Lakers yet?
Oh, there you go.
I don't
let
know.
it go.
Why? You should let it go.
No, why shouldn't I? It's time to move on, Skip.
Yeah,
He's
good.
finally recovered.
Yeah, I don't wallow in my pity and talk about, oh, he quit on us and he did.
We'll see.
Let it go.
We'll see how this first question goes.
It's all going to get rehashed very quickly. All right. Yes, indeed. This morning we are beginning with the newest star in L.A. Kawhi certainly shook the NBA world when he chose to sign with the Clippers instead of Shannon's Lakers or the Raptors. The Claw already led Toronto to their first NBA title, and now he has the chance to do the same thing for the Clippers. Meanwhile, that other LA team and LeBron missed out on convincing Kawhi to become a Laker, which may have hurt the Kings' chances for a fourth title. The Athletic's Frank Isola wrote this about Kawhi. He's already a two-time NBA Finals MVP who knew that going to the Lakers and winning with the purple and gold would have enhanced LeBron's legacy more than anything. Imagine winning a title with the Clippers while preventing LeBron from getting another ring. That would place Kawhi in a different stratosphere. This move was about Kawhi's legacy and plotting his own future. Interesting argument,
Well,
Shannon.
that's debatable.
How will Kawhi and LeBron's legacies both be impacted by his decision to join the Clippers?
LeBron's legacy will be unimpacted. You can't undo what's already been done. How do you take those 4 regular season MVPs, those 3 finals MVPs? He's a top 5 in scoring. He's going to be possibly top 5 in assists. I don't believe Kawhi's decision impacts Bron in any way. Now, can Kawhi enhance his own legacy? Sure he can. I don't know how much by winning titles without having regular season MVPs on that resume, because it's hard for me to believe, Skip, a player can be considered a pantheon great without having a regular season. See, it's easier for me, and I'm not saying it's easier, but to win finals MVP is over 7 games, when the regular season MVP is over the entirety of his season. And Kawhi does not have any on his resume. Now, he and Magic Johnson are the only 2 guys to have multiple finals MVPs before they won their first regular season MVP. Now, we know Magic went on to win 3 of those. We don't know if Kawhi will or won't, but I'm saying he doesn't have any of those, Skip. I don't get, and everybody keeps saying LeBron's legacy takes a hit because Kawhi turns him down. Does Kawhi's legacy take a hit because KD turned him down? Does his legacy take a hit because Kyrie turned him down? Does it? Because they did turn him down, right? They told him no.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn. Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm just give you a little food for thought.
Oh.
They make it seem like Kawhi joined a 25-win team. Did the Clippers make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay, they did. So let me ask you a question. Now, LeBron goes to the Lakers last year. They were a 35-win team, and he brought no one with him. Kawhi joins a 48-win team, and by the way, I'm heading to L.A. Paul George. Holla at your boy. So he gets Paul George, and we're like, oh, my God, did you see what Kawhi did? Did you see what Paul George did? Now, I know a guy that would have done that move, and everybody would have obliterated him. But we're not talking about that right now.
Are we putting number 2 and LeBron in the same sentence?
Whoa.
I don't know.
You've been trying.
Echelon? I don't know.
Hold on. You keep talking about their legacy. I don't think it's comparable. I don't even think it's comparable.
I haven't said a word about it.
Well, you shouldn't say a word.
Yeah, I haven't spoken yet.
Let the king speak
Let
right
the king
now.
speak?
Yeah. You see, Skip, look. Not that Kawhi, it'd have been very, very interesting because everybody says, well, he didn't want to join the Lakers. It'd have been very, very interesting if Sam Presti said, heck no, Jerry West. Heck no, Lawrence Frank. I'm not dealing you, Paul George.
Could have.
And if beside your jury would have said, nah, I'm good over here. I'm not dealing with y'all. What would Kawhi have done? It'd have been very, very interesting to witness Skip, because he showed if he wanted the Clippers so bad, free agency opened up on 6/30, June 30th. He could have signed with the Clippers from out the gate. Why didn't he? Why didn't he do that, Skip? Because he wanted to take somebody along with him. Free agency opened first day last year. Who was one of the first guys to ink a contract? LeBron James, and took no one. LeBron James.
He's semi-retired. I mean, he
you
said, I want to go to Hollywood.
Now he's semi-retired. He gets Anthony Davis. He tries to recruit Kawhi. Oh, he weak. He weak. I thought he was retired. How can you be retired and weak? Oh, you see? I see how you do this, old Skip Bayless. But you
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn just yet. But I'm going to say this, Skip. I just believe there's nothing Kawhi can do to catch LeBron James. Because LeBron, he's top 5. He's not coming out. Kawhi is trying to get into the top 10. And that's going to be very difficult for him without any regular season MVPs on his resume.
I think it's my turn.
It's your turn now.
Finally, we're 8 minutes into the show. What amuses me about everything you just said is just a couple of days ago, just back to Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, you were number 2's biggest supporter.
I still am.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I ain't got no problem.
Blasted him.
No, I didn't. I just said that his legacy, LeBron's legacy, is unimpacted by anything that Kawhi does. That's it.
So, before I get to the guts of my answer, I must admit, I love the decision number 2 made because I can't not love it. I challenged him all week last week to have the guts to compete against LeBron. Don't join him, fight him. Come to his town and fight him. Face to face in his own building. Share the building and fight him. That was my theme all last week, and by golly, he did it. So, and he did bring along some big help, but he did it. He chose to go face-to-face with LeBron at Staples Center. So, to me, I got to applaud that move because I have mixed emotions here. I have no choice but to applaud that because that did take some measure of guts, even though he did holla at his boy, and his boy came.
Yeah.
Okay? But I got that. But you can't blame him for that because that's the way the game is played now. Everybody does.
Oh, but no.
Because there are no more Michael Jordans. There was one and one only, and he's now running Charlotte, barely.
Into the ground, I might add.
Into the ground, yeah.
But hold on, Skip. Why aren't you offering the critique of the criticism of him getting another great player to come along? Because that's what you did with LeBron.
Yeah, but he's shaky. He's not a closer. He needs help. He knows he needs help. He knows full well because he's a shrewd operator, as we've been finding out.
Yeah, a lot shrewder than we gave him credit for.
He knew just how lucky he was last year in Toronto because every break in the world went his way.
Literally and figuratively.
That's correct. The basketball god said, "Let there be championship." And it was. Yeah. So he knows, boy, if you're going to go back to the West, he knows the West because he played in the West for a long time. But he had some help. Yes. He had Duncan Parker and Ginobili. And so now he's saying, I want to go to the Clippers and share that building with that guy. I need help. Okay. Kevin, come help me. No, sorry, I'm staying in New York. Jimmy Butler, come. No, I'm going to Miami. Kyrie. Me and KD, we're like this, man. Right. We got to do this with the Nets.
Right.
And it comes down to he's begging. He's going over to Paul George's house to beg him.
So he
please
begging,
come with it. Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I'm giving you that.
Isn't that a knock? That's a knock. I mean, begging is so unbecoming.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
But guess what happened? Very late Friday night and early Saturday morning in the East, because it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Number 2 dropped a stealth bomb that changed NBA history in my estimation because it effectively ended LeBron's championship possibilities. LeBron James is not going to win another championship without number 2. Period. End of story.
So you getting that kind of credit?
Yes, I do, because it would have taken the Clippers completely out of the equation. They would have not been a contender without him because he brought Paul George. So that wouldn't have happened. So the Clippers are still flailing. They would have scrambled just like the Lakers just did and tried to sign this guy and that guy and this guy, and it all adds up to whatever because you still don't have a star except you got Montrez and Lou Williams, and that's it, right?
Okay, correct.
So you take them out of the equation. But more important, what did you talk about? Why were you about to throw a parade last week? Because on hair trigger was the potential to have LeBron James and Anthony Davis and number 2 all in purple and gold.
Yes.
And they become maybe the most prohibitive favorite in the history of the NBA going into the season, right?
Yes.
And I gave it up to you. I said, yeah, They might win a couple. Heck, they might win 3, let's say 3 of the next 4 championships, depending how long LeBron can hang in there and hang on at his age. But again, up to 38, yeah, maybe they could win 3 more championships. What if LeBron went from 3-6, which he is right now, to 6-6? What if LeBron could say, I won as many championships as Michael Jordan won, and I doubled him in finals appearances. I got 12, and he had only 6.
Yeah, but but then you and the other Jordan apologists will say, yeah, but Michael was 6 for 6, 6 finals MVPs.
Okay, obviously I would cling to that and I would fight for that because that's 6-0. But it would give you so much more ammunition than you have right now at 3-6.
I got enough ammo.
No, you don't.
I got a plenty of ammo.
You don't. It's not
got
credible.
50,000 rounds.
It's not credible ammo.
Yes, it is.
Not like this. So you had it and you knew it. It's right there. It's like within your grasp.
Did LeBron retire?
What are you talking about?
Did he retire?
It looked like he did last year.
Oh, my goodness. Skip.
He went 28-27 in the games he started last year.
And still had more points than Kawhi and KD.
Okay, so I'm going to say this also about number 2. The cowardly decision, but actually the smarter decision for number 2 at 2 a.m. Eastern would be to say, okay, I give up. I'm joining LeBron. Because if you want legacy, if we're talking about improving legacy, obviously it would be far more impressive for him to win a championship leading the Clippers, along with Paul George, to a championship, the doormats of L.A., the stepchild. But in the end, that's going to be very difficult. I'm not sure he can pull that off with Paul George. And you know how I feel about Paul George. What have I often called him?
You called him George Paul.
George Paul. But
now he's the savior.
I didn't say he was the savior.
Oh, yeah, you talked about how good he is. He was first team All-NBA, first team All-Defense.
Well, they now have the 2 best two-way players in basketball.
They do.
And Paul George had a phenomenal, he had his best year last year.
And what did he get
I
him?
just say what I see.
And couldn't get him out the first round.
Thank you very much. To my point, that's the point. That's what you're up against are 2 guys who I think they have shaky intangibles. I'm not sold on either one. But if number 2 takes the cowardly way out and says, I'm joining LeBron and AD, what if he puts 3 more championships on his resume? What if he wins 2 more finals MVPs and he's got 4 finals MVPs?
With no regular season means nothing.
Okay, what if he did win a regular season MVP? But now that he's the media darling, because he out of last year, I've never seen anything like it. I kept telling you, he's the most protected superstar this side of LeBron James. So now you'd have 2 of them playing together. What if LeBron did go full on Magic Johnson? He's the orchestrator, distributor, and all of a sudden, it's between AD and number 2, and maybe number 2 actually decides to play like 50 games. I don't know, and maybe it's enough to qualify. I think you have to play 50 to qualify for MVP of regular season.
Yeah.
What if he did? What if he won it? I don't know. He's certainly got the ability to win an MVP.
But you see, the praise and the adulation that will be heaped on Kawhi if he were to win were to win a championship with Paul George would be looked at a lot differently if LeBron wins one with AD. Oh, he got AD. He ain't do it by himself, but Kawhi.
Okay, who is viewed as the better player between AD and Paul George?
Hold on. Why was this? So why we keep talking about Kawhi and what he did with Paul George? I said that.
Okay, you kept telling me yesterday. What would 30 GMs say?
Yeah, you already know. Well, 31, because you're a GM, you pretend to be one up here. You take an AD too, wouldn't you?
I could be a really good GM.
No, you could
not. Look
not.
at my track record. I'm really good.
Yeah.
I've been told that by a couple of GMs. So go ahead.
All I know is this, Skip. Look, Kawhi is phenomenal, but as you keep harping on this. You told me, I don't know how he won Finals MVP. He didn't lead him in scoring. He didn't lead him in rebounding. He didn't lead him in assists. He was the 4th option.
He was 5th and plus minus on the team.
So now all of a sudden,
I don't know.
Because he's won this championship with Toronto and he goes to the Clippers, now we're going to put him amongst the Pantheons.
I don't. You were last week because you were recruiting him like crazy right here in your seat.
No.
Yeah, you were.
It's hard. I don't even know how he cracks the top. He might not get to the top 3 in the small forwards.
Okay.
How did he get over Larry Bird and LeBron? How did he jump them?
Okay, you're preaching to my choir. I got you. I'm with you.
Skip, I'm not. Look, Kawhi is phenomenal.
Okay, but he finally impressed me for the first time ever. He took the harder road, the harder fork. He went to the left. He went to the stepchild.
He should have if he impressed you, you got to go it alone, at least for a year.
Well, I know, but you just say that's impossible.
That's what my guy did. My guy went to a 35-win team alone. But you said he's semi-retired. Your guy was unwilling to do that.
Your guy wanted to make Space Jam 2.
Oh, see, there you go. You
Well,
see?
he did.
But hold on.
He's got like 19 producer credits. He's Mr.
But
Hollywood.
let
He
me
does.
ask you, if that's
and
the-
I got no problem with it.
If that's the case.
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
If that's the case, why is he recruiting Kawhi? If he's semi-retired.
He failed to recruit him.
No, I'm just saying.
Am I right?
No, he didn't fail.
Well, sure. I mean, who wouldn't try to, you
But
got a shot?
But
Okay,
if
I got it.
Skip, if I'm retiring, I'm not trying to recruit anybody. I'm good where I am.
Okay, but I told you sitting right here in this chair, as soon as he signed it, I kept saying, I'm waiting for the other sneaker to drop. Who is it?
And
you said nobody.
No, he went it alone to let you know what he was trying to do.
And what happened?
It didn't work out.
Oh, okay.
So we had to bring it real. Hey, Skip,
That's a little blemish on the resume there.
Sometimes
28 and 27?
Pardon
After
me.
he said, I'm activating early. I'm in playoff mode.
Sometimes, Skip, pardon the metaphor, when you go to war,
Yeah.
you don't have enough reinforcement. You have to call in, you have to call reinforcements in. You
Okay.
don't have enough artillery.
He missed the playoffs by 11 games.
So we got AD. Do you believe AD will make us better? Do you believe
You got him for one reason and one reason only. He's your client.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Well, that's with a K. You have
The
to spell
only
client with a K.
let me ask you a question.
K-L-I-E-N-T, client.
So are you using that same argument? The only reason the Clippers got Kawhi was because of location? Are you using that? The only reason they traded for Paul George because of location? You see, you make every excuse.
They're from here.
Okay.
Okay.
What difference does it make?
Well,
they're from here. That's not his client.
Why did LeBron leave D. Wade high and dry?
Oh my goodness, Skip! Stop with the high and dry.
I'm coming home.
I'm coming home.
I know.
Yeah, Lee Jenkins wrote a beautiful story.
Oh, yeah.
That was a beautiful.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
Skip, you see how the narrative get flipped. Everything LeBron does, it was because of Hollywood. It was because he was a client. It was this and yada yada yada. Kawhi Leonard, the only reason he was with the Clippers is because he's from here. Paul George, the only reason he want to come back, he's from here. Y'all don't use those arguments against him. So was it about basketball, or was it about coming home?
Well, in the end, he could have put up with the drama king that is LeBron. He could have put up with the fact that two clutch clients or the other two stars, and I'm the odd man out, and I could be the third wheel. He could have put up with all that if all he wanted to do was front run the way LeBron is often front run with Big Three. It could have been Big Three, and it could have been 3 championships. And he took the harder path and took on the challenge. And in one fell swoop, one drop stealth bomb, 2 a.m. Eastern time on a very early Saturday morning, he opened up all the doors in the West, because all of a sudden we can argue all day and all night about Clippers, Lakers, Lakers, Clippers, but right on their tail, just an inch behind, are still Golden State and Utah and Denver. Jeremy Grant they added. And do not sleep on my Spurs. They got a real shot next year.
Yeah.
And by the way, did you see what Lonnie Walker did in the Summer League last night? He might be the Summer League MVP. He scored 32 last night.
It's Summer League.
Uh-oh.
It's Summer League.
You want to talk about a loaded team.
You remember the guy 2 years ago that was Summer League MVP? How'd that work out for him? Where is he at now?
Which one are you
You
talking
know
about?
the guy-
Lonzo.
yeah, Lonzo.
I thought you meant Bryn Forbes, but that's another.
Skip, help me understand this. I'm gonna try to be my best and a few good men, my best Kathy. Just one final question.
Is this an audition for Space Jam?
It might be. It might be.
Yeah.
One last question. You, Colonel Jessup. If Kawhi is that dog, the Clippers was his only choice, why didn't he sign day one of free agency? Why would he string it along and go 7 days before he made his decision?
Can you condemn him for not chasing somebody?
I'm just asking a simple question. If that was his first choice, if that was his only choice, why did he wait 7 days? You told me that was his only choice. Why did he wait?
Because he tried for Kevin Durant. And then he tried for Kyrie.
So
and then he tried for Jimmy Butler. And then it took 3 days to pry Paul George or George Paul out of Oklahoma City. So it took 3 days.
So in other words, had that not happened, he would have been a Laker.
Well, can you condemn him for not? You can't go to war with LeBron in his building without some help if he's got Anthony Davis.
Everybody keeps telling me how bold it was to go face to face. If this was, hold on, Did the Clippers just relocate? So because he got Paul George, now they're in L.A. So now he's coming home. No, they've been here. So in other words, I just want to know one more time. If that was his only choice, he wasn't going back to Toronto. He wasn't going to the Lakers.
I already answered this question. He was trying to get one sidekick, one co-star. The way LeBron had a better co-star. Because according to you, LeBron got a top 5 co-star.
According to everybody.
Okay, then he's got a top 5. So why would you go into that fight with a knife when he's got a bazooka, right?
If you that guy. If you that guy, Skip, look.
You know, if you're that guy, if you're LeBron James, still, quote unquote, according to you, best player on the planet, why wouldn't you applaud number 2's decision? Because it increases the degree of difficulty and the impressiveness of LeBron, because you've already predicted he's going to win a championship next year. Well, the degree of difficulty just went through the roof.
For me, Skip,
LeBron, why wouldn't you applaud that?
I look at it like, you remember the greatest diver of all time is Greg Louganis. He didn't compete against the guys. He said, I did my dives. Degree of difficulty, I do what I do, you can't beat me. LeBron don't care about no degree of difficulty. He do what he does, and let's see where the chips fall.
Okay, but they would have been prohibitive favorites, and I would have sat over here laughing. Would you predict like they're going to win? What was it? I can't remember. At one point.
If you be nice to me, I'll say, if you keep bothering me, I'm going to say to go 77-5.
Okay, 77-5.
I said, but I'll be nice and tell him to go 16-14.
So how impressed would I be with 77-5 leading to his 4th championship?
You'd be very impressed.
Not all that impressed.
77 wins.
Okay, but it's still, that doesn't mean anything until you...
Oh, yeah, as Golden State by 73-9.
Okay, well, there you go. But my point is, now... I'll be the first to admit, I will be very impressed if LeBron James can lift this team to a championship.
Because what he do? He got a top 5 player. According to you, the Hall of Famer says Anthony Davis is a top 5 player. He got him. You're going to find a way. They're going to find a way to try to nitpick because that's what I'm starting to realize.
But now you're going into battle with a big 2 as opposed to a big 3 in Miami and a big 3 when you return to Cleveland, right? There's no Kevin Love now.
It's simple. Sheep's led by a lion is more dangerous than lions led by a sheep. Give me that little big guy right there. Yeah, think about that. Let that think it.
That's just too deep for me.
No, that ain't too deep. You know.
Sheep led by a lion. The lion would just turn around and eat
No.
Wouldn't he?
No.
You just have them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It's too early to talk about lambs getting eaten by lions. My goodness. The mind games have already started between these two teams. Patrick Beverley sending some signals in Summer League to LeBron. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Take it down, Pat Bell.
But up next is Russell Westbrook on his way to Miami. They're debating that next. Don't forget, check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. Undisputed. We'll be right back.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here with a quick word from one of our sponsors, Hims, a new wellness brand for men. Did you know that 66% of men lose their hair by age 35? The problem is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's actually too late. Here's the thing, it's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. So, do you want a bald spot to pop up, or do you want to do something about it first? Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Check out forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. These are prescription solutions backed by science. With Hims, there's no waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits. It's so easy, and you can save hours by going to forhims.com. Once there, answer a few quick questions and a doctor will review and can prescribe you products that are shipped directly to your door. Order now. Undisputed listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See website for full details and safety information. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/undisputed. That's forhims.com/undisputed. forhims.com/undisputed. Now, back to the show.
No mercy.
Are Russell Westbrook's days in OKC over? The Thunder just traded Paul George, and Russ is coming off his 3rd consecutive season of losing in the first round of the playoffs. Now we get this news. Woj reporting Russ, quote, welcomes the idea of the Thunder trading him and has expressed interest in going to Miami, where he would join Jimmy Butler. Some might say that's a tough fit. Shannon, what do you think? How would Russ fit in Miami?
Terrible fit. Skip. First of all, you got 2 ball dominant, 2 ISO players, 2 headstrong players on the same team.
I mean, Jimmy's not as ball dominant as Russ is, but go ahead.
But Skip, he left Philly to be the guy.
He did.
He could have stayed in Philly and had a better situation and got max dollars. Playing with Joel Embiid, playing with Ben Simmons. He could have stayed there.
And to your last point, he was the one guy who said, I'm going solo, man.
Going solo.
Yep.
And, Skip, in crunch time, who was their closer? They gave the ball to Jimmy Butler.
They did.
And they either went pick and roll with him and Joel Embiid or they let him go ISO one-on-one.
They did.
And he said, no, I'm going to forego that. I'm going to Miami, where I got no chance of winning a title. But I'm going to be the guy. And you put he and Russ together, who Jen mentioned in the last 3 years, he hadn't got out the first round. But he did average a triple-double, Jen. You know, the triple-doubles,
you're right about
that's a great deodorant, Skip. They mask everything.
0 for 3 with 3 triple-doubles.
Yeah, but see, that's what we talk about. See, we ain't going to talk about the other. We ain't going to talk about he went out the first round the last 3 years, but he averaged a triple-double. We didn't think that could ever be done again.
Nope.
Skip, if you take on Jimmy the next 4 years, $312 million between Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook to go where? To do what? Now, maybe you needed to sell tickets. D. Wade is retiring,
Sure.
Skip. In Miami, Skip, it's hard to hold people's attention in Miami. You know, they got so much going on. They got them clubs. You know, your boy be down there a couple times popping them bottles. They got the beaches. They got all the Art Deco. How you going to get people to come there if you lose it? I mean, first of all, they had a hard time getting people to come when they were winning, going to the finals every single year.
You weren't popping bottles that night before that Super Bowl, were you?
No.
I remember you could barely go in that Super Bowl.
No.
Huh?
You know,
you having a rough morning? I don't know.
What happened is that Eugene Robinson. Yeah, he called me and I told him I wasn't going to be able to make it. Yeah, because I knew something bad was about to happen. I ain't want no parts of that, Skip.
Okay.
Skip, this would be a terrible fit. You know it. The only worst fit that I can envision Russ playing alongside is James Harden. That would be a worse fit than this. This makes no sense. Now, I get why OKC would want to do it because, look, they're in total rebuild mode. But you and I talked about this yesterday. We knew this was going to happen because Russ said, you know what? When James Harden wanted to leave, I stayed. When KD walked out the door and you got nothing for him, I stayed. I showed you loyalty. And lo and behold, the way you repay me is that you put me in a trade. You got to move me because I don't trust you, Sam. I got to bounce. Good luck. I'm sorry, Skip. The only basketball team and y'all was winning. Y'all not about to win for a long time now.
You know what's funny about what you just said? Just thinking about James Harden and Russ.
Yeah.
I believe Jimmy Butler and Russ would be an even worse fit than James and Russ, only because James has a softer side to him than Jimmy. Jimmy is hard-headed, and Russ is the hardest-headed. And at least Harden would try with Russ because remember,
you get a lot of this, a lot of butt.
Like that's what you get in Miami right out of the box. But at least James would say, "Well, okay, I'll work with you. I'll try." And remember, they do know each other.
Yeah.
They're both LA kids, LA area kids, and they came up together in the Thunder system, right? So at least you have some background together.
Winning MVPs changes how
I know.
you see yourself.
I got that. I'm just saying James would try for a while to figure out a way to coexist with Russ. It wouldn't work.
Okay.
But he would try. Jimmy would not try. In fact, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes right now in Miami, but I just have this notion that Jimmy Butler might have picked up his phone yesterday and called Pat Riley and said, if you bring him in, I'm out. I demand a trade, right? Because we saw Kevin Durant said, nope, I can't do this. And then we just saw Paul George finally say, I tried for a year and I can't do this. And I think Jimmy would say, I don't even want to try for a year. I'm out. I came here to go solo. And he's a Dwayne Wade guy. He's a protege. And he wanted to replace Dwayne in Miami. And he wanted to be, as you say, the guy. And all of a sudden, the guy has to share with it was last year's second highest usage rate in basketball because Russ is the guy. He just is. And because he is the point guard, he gets to make every decision as he dribbles the ball up the court.
Okay.
And that would drive Jimmy Butler even crazier because, as you say, he's an ISO wing player. He he's like a poor man's Kevin Durant. And again, I'm not disrespecting. I have a lot of respect for Jimmy Butler, but he can do some of the things Kevin can do, but he's an ISO player.
Yeah.
He needs you just to say
the
it's
ball
your
and get out of
turn.
the way.
It's your turn. You go now.
Right.
And you know how Russ is, no, it's my turn. I'm going to run through that brick wall, right? Watch this. I'm going to lower my head and run right through the brick wall, and I'm going to dunk it or get to the free throw line.
Right.
But now, if I go big picture, Pat Riley, and I've known him for a long, long time, back to his days as the Lakers coach here, would I do this? I would jump through 10 hoops to do this deal, because since your man LeBron, I'm coming home, they have not even been relevant in the Eastern Conference. And remember, the Eastern Conference just got even less.
Yeah.
It took a hit because obviously number 2 is now in the West. And all of a sudden, I look at Philly. Are they as good as they were last year? No. They lost Jimmy Butler and J.J. Redick, right? They're good. We think they're the favorite, but are they as good as last year? No.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Milwaukee lost Malcolm Brogdon. Are they quite as good as they were last year? Close, but maybe not quite.
Right.
Boston's like a shell of itself from last year, right? Okay, so the East is wide open. So Pat Riley's saying, give me marquee, give me star power.
Right.
If I can pair up these two guys, I don't care if it works or not. I'm back in business.
And plus, Skip, they have to sell. Miami, what really hurt Miami, Skip, if you remember, when they traded for Dragic, and the next day, the blood clots were discovered in Chris Bosh. And then they started giving these guys bad contracts, 4-year deals. Chris Bosh really hurt him because they gave him to keep him. And then he had the blood clots, and he really never played again. But he got $28 million on your payroll. And then you started shelling out. You gave Tyler Johnson $50 million.
Yep.
You gave Hassan Whiteside $90 million. That's why D. Wade left. He's like, wait a minute.
Yep.
You gave a guy that you discovered at the YMCA $92 million, and you told me I took less to get LeBron. I took less because you wanted KD. I'm not taking less for Hassan Whiteside. He dipped. That's why. And so Pat Riley's done a terrible job. He's given some bad contracts to some average guys, and it's come back to bite him.
He got out from under the Hassan.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But you got out from under that, and then here come the rain. You gave your umbrella away, Skip, and now here come the deluge on you. You got 4 years, $170 million from Russ. What you gonna do with that? You got 4 years, 142 with Jimmy Butler.
Okay, but at least you'd be marquee relevant next year, just next year. But you would be trading for an aging superstar who is high collision, high contact, who was coming off his 5th knee surgery. I'm talking about Russell, just before last year, and who proceeded last year to shoot a league worst 29% from the three-point line.
Right.
And from the free throw line, he shot 66%. Isn't that LeBron territory?
No, stop.
Well, it is.
No,
It's
LeBron shot better. He's at 67.
67, okay. Well, he was even a tick below LeBron at the free throw line. You're going to trade for that? Because it's only going to get worse with Russ.
You made a very interesting point, Skip Bayless. Both of these guys got what? A lot of wear on those tires.
Yep.
Check back with me in a couple of years and see if you still like these contracts.
Okay.
Russ, $50 million in the $47 million, $50 million in the last year of the contract with a player option. You like that? For a guy that's, like you said, 3 knee surgeries, wear and tear. He's played the way he plays. Jimmy, the way he plays, all that mileage that in Chicago, in Minnesota, that Coach Tibbs put on that body.
That's true. Yeah. And now Sam Presti in Oklahoma City is forced to basically say, here, I'll just give me anything back to make it work.
Right.
But I don't care what I get back because I am starting over.
Because the hard cap, you got to match dollar for dollar now.
Okay.
So basically, you got to give up Dragic, who has 1 year left on his contract. James Johnson and Kelly Olynyk. Both of those have player options. But you only have those guys for 1 more year, Skip. You're going even after this year, you got 3 more years with Russ and Jimmy.
Do I like Justice Winslow? Yeah, I like him. He's pretty good. Adebayo, is he?
No. Bam. Bam is untouchable.
Okay.
I'm not getting rid of Bam.
Okay.
Everybody else.
Well, you may have to.
No, I'm not getting rid of Bam.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, because at some point, I can't even make the math work how Miami's going to be able to field a team with those 2 guys under their cap.
Exactly.
Like, are you going to play like 3-on-5, 4-on-5? I don't know.
Hey, Stacks, get ready. They're about to call you.
Really?
They're about to go lower the minimum.
Really?
Yeah. Skip, you got 3 guys that's making $312 million over the next 4 years. How you feel the team?
Okay. So, by the way, we got a perk bomb because our man Kendrick Perkins it was quoted yesterday in the Miami Herald, I believe this was, and he said, I talked to Russ, and I think I see him in a Miami Heat jersey. So obviously Russ is thinking this is happening,
but
right?
He can't stay because he doesn't trust Sam Presti. Remember when it was reported that Kyrie
That's
got...
funny you say that because Sam Presti was his biggest fan and chose him over Kevin Durant.
And Russ said, okay, when KD walked out the door, what would have happened, Skip? When KD walked out the door, Russ says, nah, I ain't signing no extension. So you lost James Harden 2 years before. You lose KD, and then a year later, Russ walks out the door. Can you imagine? He would have crippled OKC. And the only reason people showed up, Skip, was because of Russ, the triple-double watch. And then he did it again, and then they traded for Paul George. He would have crippled that franchise. And he says, I'm your guy. And this is what you do me. You was going to include me in a trade to get me up out of here when I stayed.
Yep.
You have to. There's no way he was going to stay.
You know what Presti should have done? He should have traded Russell 2 years ago when he had high value.
Or you could go to him and say, Russ, look, we're not going anywhere. We're pressed to we're over the cap. We're in the luxury tax. And you see these teams are gearing up.
Yep.
We're not going to be able to compete. What if you think we're going to go rebuild? You go talk to him. I think you gave him, he's your guy. You go talk to him and you explain it to him. You can't let him find out, like a lot of other people, that he was included in the trade because those guys, he going to buck.
Yep.
So he got to go now.
Well,
OKC, what they going to do? Y'all ain't got no pro sports now. It'll be over.
It's over. We got the University of Oklahoma football.
Oh,
I think
man,
that qualifies.
We're
going to have the Heisman Trophy winner for a third straight year.
No, you're not.
I think that qualifies. I think we're good to go.
When last time y'all won national title?
National title?
Yeah.
Well, we're in the playoffs every year.
And catching L's left and right.
We've caught some L's. We've had
Some.
injuries. Yeah.
They don't do injuries.
Hollywood Brown got hurt last year. We would have beaten Alabama. Simple as that.
You believe that, too?
Yeah, I do.
College football season just right around the corner.
Yeah.
Shannon, I gotta say, I would take Club Shay Shay over South.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that thing be popping.
Absolutely.
Have you been there?
I haven't, but I've heard so many amazing stories. I'm so intrigued.
Bottle service is off the chain.
I've heard it doesn't exist.
My
It does
time
exist.
here's over.
I keep that 42 on ice.
No mercy.
Patrick Beverley. He might have already enhanced this budding Lakers-Clippers rivalry. This weekend at Summer League, Lou Williams and Beverley greeted Kyle Kuzma, LeBron, AD, but take a look. It appears Beverley didn't even make eye contact with LeBron, and of course that threw social media into a frenzy over possible sign of disrespect. Complex Sports tweeted, Pat Bev is ready to play the Lakers right now. No eye contact. Beverley replied simply by saying, locked in. Shannon, how do you think LeBron's going to respond to this?
He's not. Really, Skip? Really? In July, we locked in. Now, we talk about how the NBA plays meaningless games in February and March, and you can't get riled up. And so here we are in July, in Vegas. The season's, even training camp's 8 weeks, 2 months, 10 weeks away. And Pat Beverley's locked in. I get it. Because that's how he built his reputation. When you have a guy that's bounced around and was in Greece and been all overseas, I get it. Skip this talk. This is nothing. LeBron, come on. But you remember last time a guy, tried to show Bron up and talk crazy to him. Remember Klay Thompson? When Draymond, he said, I guess LeBron got his feelings hurt. You remember what happened? 41 game 5, 41 game 6, 27-point triple-double, and we walked off with the trophy.
Kyrie hit the last shot.
Don't do that, Skip. See, I didn't ask you to talk. I didn't ask you to chime in or anything.
He had help.
Oh, there you go. Skip, this is nothing. This is a whole bunch of nothing going on here. And stop. The Clippers and the Lakers aren't a rivalry, okay? That's not a rivalry.
Well, they just became a rivalry.
Alabama
overnight
Auburn is a rivalry. The Packers, the Bears, that's a rivalry.
Oklahoma, Texas is a real rivalry.
First of all, the
You didn't get to the best one, but go ahead.
Stop it.
Yeah.
The hammer and the nail can never be a rivalry.
Really?
Because we already know how it's going to end.
Patrick, are you watching?
The hammer's going to hit the nail on the head, and it's going to go into
the nail.
I'm just saying, Skip Bayless. Look, Skip, you know how I feel about it. I love Pat Bev. He that dog, and they're going to be tough, especially out front, because he on ball, and you got the two best wing players, 2 of the 3 best. Giannis is going in that mix also. But they're gonna be lights out. I get all that. But ain't nobody locked in July. LeBron having them a good old time. Did you see what he posted?
No.
4:55 a.m. He and El Segundo getting up shots.
Oh, really? Is that an old picture?
Is he locked in? Is he locked in?
It's an old picture.
But you tell me why you got to tell somebody that you locked in. Because when LeBron said he was going to activate, just don't tell us, LeBron, just activate.
Yeah, show us.
Okay, Pat.
Show me. What did LeBron post? I don't know, when was it? A week ago?
What did he post?
Comeback season for the ages. Don't tell me, show me. I don't need to hear about it in, as you just said, you just ripped Patrick Beverley. What are we in? Early July.
Early July.
It's what's opening night? October maybe 22nd.
What?
Okay? So why would LeBron post comeback season? I want to hear comeback season for the ages on October 21st. Let's get there. Let's do it.
Ain't nobody locked in right now.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Well, the King said he was locked in.
He didn't say that. He said he's going to have a season. He's putting that work in right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, all I know is back in March he said, I'm activating early. Playoff mode early. And they lost 12 in the next 15 games.
LeBron got
Did
my
you believe
watch on.
that? No, 12. You got to change the subject off 12 of 15 games you lost after you activated
what you did?
playoff mode.
You see?
Show me, don't tell me.
You see what
LeBron is the classic, I'll tell you, but I can't back it up.
No, this is what I noticed about you and a lot of other people. When LeBron wins, he had a lot of help. But when he loses, LeBron lost. He didn't know no team. It's LeBron. When he wins, it's a team. Kyrie hit that shot, but when he lost, LeBron took that L. Can we stop that, Skip? I want to stop.
Well, if it's truth.
It ain't no.
Was it truth? Was Game 4 loss 2015 in his house? Whose fault was that? Remember, Game 4, you're up 2 games to 1. What did the King do?
What about Game 2 and 3?
7 of 22
What about
from the
Game 2
field.
and 3?
5 of 10 from the free throw line in Game 4? You can't do that in your house. You could have put him down 3-1. That's his fault. Best player on the planet. Sorry. I kept hearing he ran out of gas.
He just averaged 36, 13, and 9.
Well,
that wasn't good enough.
Iggy won the MVP because Iggy shut him down in Game 4.
He'll shut him down, okay.
So here's the point. The NBA player with the most pressure on him right here, right now, is your guy. LeBron has been called out. He has been snubbed back-to-back years by 2 players who then went home, they're coming home, to his building to unite and compete against him. That is called out. You better be locked in because Patrick Beverley is clearly the heart and soul of that basketball team, and all of a sudden he's got backup. He's got the 2 best wings you could have because these are the best two-way players in basketball. And now he's got 1 to the right and 1 to the left. And Patrick Beverley is the absolute flip side of LeBron James.
Which one guarding AD?
I don't know. Zoo will probably guard him.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, so do I.
Who gonna guard Boogie?
Yeah, by the way, did you see the stat? Zoo last year, big Zoo, Zubats, stole him from the Lakers, and down the stretch, he was, for the whole year, he was a top 5 rim protector. Top 5.
Oh, yeah. Skip, that's why they want to get rid of him. I was like, imagine, why'd you just give him away from a scholar?
So back to business. LeBron James now has no more excuses because he got rid of all those kids who turned on him, right? They all turned on him at the trade deadline because he tried to dump them all to New Orleans for AD, right? And then they all said, okay, you don't love us anymore. We don't love you. We won't play hard for you. So you got that excuse, but it's gone. Now you got your clutch client, Klient, and he's on your side now. So you got that going. And then we're going to talk about the roster, but they did a really nice job of filling out the roster.
Yeah, great
so
job.
There are no more excuses. But here's little Patrick. Little Patrick Beverley, I love Patrick Beverley because he is the exact flip side of 6'9", 200 and, what is he now, 45 pound? Are we going to drop him from 280 to 245?
It wasn't never 280, stop.
Okay, I think it was 280.
You must be thinking he's Zion.
Okay, but we have little Patrick, he's 6'1". He was once upon a time a second-round choice out of Arkansas, really pretty early. He's like the 14th pick in the second round, but couldn't make it. And he went to Greece to play. And then he went to Russia to play. And then he came back and played in the D or now G League for a while. It took that long road just to get to the league. Then he played for the Rockets. Now he's playing for the Clippers. And now he is the starting point guard for the NBA favorite. But he's a little 6'1" Patrick. And what I wished he would have done to LeBron is just snub him. Just walk past him. That would have been a statement. You know,
really,
just leave him hanging. Right, just
really,
leave
Skip?
him, just go on, you know.
Really, Skip?
Come on.
Why,
because the challenge has been thrown, the gauntlet has been thrown at your feet, best player on the planet. This is your challenge. You already said comeback season for the ages. You're on.
All disrespect will be dealt with in a severe and harsh manner.
Okay, well, once upon a time, he could mete out that punishment. But now I don't know if he's capable of. Because I didn't see enough from him last year. 28 and 27 in the games he started. I didn't see him take over games. I didn't see domination. Yeah?
You saw him. He was hurt, but he won't be this year.
Okay. Well, again, he's 17th season. That's a lot of miles.
And still
Is he now capable of putting foots in little Patrick? Because Patrick will come at you.
Oh, yeah,
He's afraid of nobody.
Yeah.
Remember what he did to Durant for a little while?
Mr.
For a little while. He got
Paul
into
George,
it.
too. Got Paul George, too.
Okay, he did. Okay? Once upon a time, he got Russell Westbrook. He ended their season. Remember that?
He undercut him. Russell was
did.
going to call his timeout.
Yeah.
And he
And by the
undercut
way, that could have been the best Oklahoma City Thunder team because that was the 1 year after they traded James Harden, and that was KD and Russ, and they won 60 games that year. They went 60 and 22, and then what happened? Right away, it was game 2 of the first round. Knee happened. And that was the end of Westbrook, and that was the end of KD because KD came up small in that.
Whoa! No, I know KD didn't come up small.
He came up
Not
real
the guy that
small.
hit the 3 shot, the
I was
2
very
big shots in the
disappointed.
finals.
I know, but I was very disappointed. I lost respect because remember they won 2 games and they lost 4 straight to Memphis. And in the fourth quarters, he shot 20% from 3 in those next 4 fourth quarters. I'm just being honest. I'm always honest about my guys. And then he turned into the best player on the planet after he left Oklahoma City.
No, they didn't. First of all, at first, Skip, look, Pat, we know how Pat is. Pat have his, he ain't locked in, though.
Yep.
Season's too far, 3 months away, and we talk about we locked in. Really, Skip? 3 months away?
Yeah. I think Patrick Beverley just set the tone for the Clippers
He ain't
season.
set no tone.
Yeah, he did.
First of all, how you going to set a tone you in a throwback jersey? You ain't set no tone.
I'd say that worked.
No.
Old school.
First of all, Skip Bayless, he's 6 foot tall. That's why he can't make eye contact with LeBron. LeBron's 6'9".
Okay.
So
I
you
just
look at
said
his
that.
chest, that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
But okay, all that different, we'll deal with that. We ain't gonna be doing all this. We'll deal with that at the appropriate time. Now you watch UFC Saturday night.
I did.
You remember that the fastest knockout. And what did the guy say? All that disrespect, all that talking about my manhood and talking about my family and all that. See what it got you?
So LeBron's going to flying knee right into Patrick Beverley right out of the box?
We're going to end it quick.
Flying knee and just
we're gonna
KO
end,
him?
No.
Okay.
We're going to end it quick.
Yeah.
Christmas. We'll deal with him on Christmas. You make sure.
You know what guts was Santos just rupturing everything in his knee.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
ACL, PCL, MCL, ruptured it all in the first round.
Yeah.
And then he just kept on kicking. He should have won the fight.
And he was kicking with that left leg that he was injured.
That is Patrick Beverley's spirit. That's what the Clippers have. That's what they had last year. So now you just added 2 stars, if not superstars. They're almost superstars to that equation.
Well, LeBron is the Johnny Bone Jones of basketball.
Oh, is he?
He's just the GOAT.
Yeah.
They're the greatest of all time to do it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody better than
Johnny
Bone.
Bones looked semi-retired the other night.
No, I mean, the only way the guy that can beat him, Johnny Jones beat him doing what he does, just standing up, striking him. But, if they fight again, when he get healthy, it's going to be 20-21 some point.
That's going to be a
We'll
while.
take him down to the mat and then punish him with them elbows. That's what we do.
Well, he tried to kick with him, and you can't kickbox with a kickbox.
Well, tell Stipe and Cormier, come see us.
Okay.
We want those. You want those belts. You want the lightweight title? Come see me.
I think everybody should go see Amanda Nunes because she's.
Oh, man.
We got to leave
She's
it
Michael
here,
Jordan.
guys.
Yeah, she is.
We've got a lot more to get to
Baddest
this
woman on
morning,
the planet.
She is.
including, you're going to like this one, why did Damian Lillard call out Kawhi and Anthony Davis?
Huh?
They'll be debating that one up next when Undisputed comes back.
No mercy.
If Kawhi had chosen to play for the Lakers, it would have formed the ultimate super team, along with LeBron and AD. Damian Lillard has not been shy about his dislike of super teams. Dame took another shot recently at stars joining forces. Take a listen.
And it's become huge because it's sometimes the coaches and the front offices, they don't have as much, I guess, power as the players. The players are so friendly now. I think in the past it was like, Jordan probably didn't go out searching and trying to get guys to come join him. It was like they was competing against each other. Now is, well, they got 3 stars on their team, so I know this guy and that guy. I'm going to try to get them to come to my team. So I think you see it a lot more now, where it's just players recruiting players is more powerful than a pitch meeting with the team. You know, that's just what it is now. So I mean, it's a huge part of the game now.
That man just signed a 196 super max extension, 196 million 4 years with the Trailblazers. You think he has a point, Shannon, here?
No. Skip, I was watching this program the other day, and the guy asked a question, and I thought I knew the answer. He said, do you know the greatest reason for animal survival? He says it's not size, it's not speed, it's not strength. It's adaptability. Dame Lillard has a 1980s mindset in the 21st century. Guys didn't move back then. You know, people like Joe Green would have never joined the Cowboys. Roger Staubach would have never played for the Packers when they had free agency, Skip. They couldn't. You see, now people move. You see, Dame said, you have to listen carefully to what he said. He says, and he was talking about, I think I saw it on the Jump the other day. He was on Summer League, but he was talking about, you know, guys, and he doesn't want to go join a team. Let me ask you a question, Skip. If Kawhi Leonard calls up Dame Lillard, hey, say, bro, I want to come join Portland. Dame tell him, say, nah, Jordan wouldn't accept that. You think Dame Lillard turning down Kawhi? You see, also what Dame Lillard didn't mention, did you know Dame?
So you're saying he would accept that?
Oh, yeah.
If he came to him.
Right,
okay.
right.
All right.
But I ain't recruit. You see, what Dame didn't tell you about Jordan, Jordan took less than what he could make, so they could fit other players up under the cap. When last time Dame Lillard took less than the max? So what Dame Lillard is going to be is a guy that's going to make probably $400 million with 0 titles. He's going to be one of the richest players in NBA history with 0 titles. Nobody remembers a guy that made a bunch of money playing sports. Only if you won titles, Dame. And if you don't believe me, ask Kevin Garnett. I want you to talk to Kevin Garnett in another year or two because he said, I should have left earlier. Stayed in Minnesota. He wanted to grind it out. He didn't want, but you know what? At the end of the day, Skip, if you play a sport, it's about titles. I get it. And also, Dame, you gonna go around punching people in the eye? Because Jordan was knocking people out. Hit Will Perdue, the deck pull little Stevie Kerr walking right here. Ain't been the same since.
He's 6'3", but go ahead.
He little old Stevie Kerr.
He is
and
6'3".
And Jordan swung on it. It swung on Will Perdue.
7 feet tall, Vanderbilt University. Woo.
Dame, it's a different time now. You're not going to win a title, bro. And it's going to be very, very interesting, Skip, to see how this plays out. Now, I want to know how much longer they're going to keep giving out these max contracts to Dame Lillard and C.J. McCollum with no championships dividends being paid on that. And they're going to have to make a decision. Be careful, Dame.
So I thought the last few days you have applauded the new school way of joining forces.
Yeah,
okay.
I got no problem with that. I'm just saying, what bothers me, if Jordan didn't do it, it can't be right. Only Jordan did everything the right way. Jordan was the best and the worst thing that ever happened to the NBA because he showed guys how to build a brand, how to become outside of basketball. But, man, Jordan didn't do that. They say Jordan played 48 straight minutes, didn't drink anything. And you got guys like drinking water, Gatorade, or anything because Jordan didn't do it. Stop thinking, Dame, you're not Jordan. So that's why he didn't. When you become him, you ain't got to get anybody else. But you're not him. So you better get some more help.
So I got to reread this quote from Damian because I just can't get over it. But I do respect the fact that he is staying put and he says, I want to do it here for Portland.
Right.
And he loves Portland and Portland really loves him.
Russ thought that too.
Okay, I'm with you on that. But the quote is, players are so friendly now. I think in the past it was like Jordan probably didn't go out searching and try to get guys to come join him. No, he did not.
Right.
That would be way beneath his dignity. And then the next line is my favorite from Damian. It was like they were competing against each other. Duh, they were.
Right.
They were actually competing. It was blood, man. It was war in the basketball context. Right. It was, no way do I want to join him.
Right.
I want to beat his
But Skip, the great players couldn't. Skip, you remember after his second year, Magic Johnson signed a 25-year contract for $25 million.
Okay, I got it. But the point here is, now I'm going to sound really old school, but it's the God's truth. there was only one Michael Jordan when it came to killer will, just whatever those intangibles are,
Right.
that killer closer will.
Right.
Magic had it, and he was a one and only. Now, he had a lot of help, and he didn't go recruit it.
Right.
It just happened around him, right?
It's different now.
Okay.
Guys are putting it together as opposed to teams.
That is correct. There was one Larry Bird. You want to talk about killer will, and he was one of your favorites.
My
growing
favorite.
up. He was
Yes.
your favorite growing
Yes.
up. Again, he had help, and yet he didn't go recruit it, and there's no, you want to talk about beneath dignity, and he and Magic had a very respectful, barely friendly rivalry.
Right.
It took a while.
Yes.
But they wanted to, in a basketball sense,
Kill
cut
each
each
other.
other's throats,
They did.
right?
Yes.
And so now it's like Damian sitting back saying, God, those guys, they were weird back then because they were competing against each other. Well, yeah, they were actually doing that. That's the league I grew up covering. That's how it worked.
Right.
There was no joining forces. It didn't start until LeBron said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach,
Skip,
right?
when you look at the greats, when we think about power forward, let's just take power forwards. The reason why Tim Duncan is the greatest is because what does he have that the other guys don't? Titles. Charles Barkley was phenomenal. People don't realize how great Charles Barkley was if you didn't see him play. Karl Malone, they don't realize how great he was, but they didn't win the titles. And guess who did? Timmy D. So he's the pantheon. When you look at these other guys, I mean, it's hard for me to believe, and everybody's like, well, Russell. But for me, it's Chamberlain, but Chamberlain does have titles. LeBron could not be the GOAT if LeBron didn't have any titles. That would be Larry Bird. It took LeBron a while to catch Larry Bird because Larry Bird had rings and he had league's MVPs. Well, Dame, you're just going to be a guy that played, made a lot of money without these titles, bro. That's the way it works in sports. Sports is not, look, yeah, you want to make as much money as you possibly can. Money and memories is what you should get when you come to play a professional sport. But at the end of the day, we don't judge about how much money you make. We judge on whether or not you got those rings. And Dame, bruh, that's all noble. You can die on that hill, but you know what, Skip? What's better than dying on a hill? Not dying at all. That's the path I want to charter. So if it means I got to leave,
You'd rather be a live coward than a dead hero.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
In a situation like this, nah, come on, Dame. But it's going to be very interesting to see. Now, he just signed a, 4-year, 196,
Okay.
plus he got 2 years already left, so he can't become a free agent until 2025. It's going to be very interesting. Let's revisit this conference. We're going to be on the air, Skip. We're going to be on the air that time, too. But let's revisit it, say, like 2021, and let's see if Dame still feel that same way.
So speaking of Timmy Duncan, his last 5 years in the NBA, he started taking $7 million and $6 million and $5 million and $4 million because he wanted
He took less than the
depth.
max when he had it.
He
had
did.
a chance to get the max. He
Okay.
took less.
What does Tommy Brady do up in Foxborough? I don't care. Just give it to me. Now, again, he's got a wife who makes a lot of money, but still, he's just saying, I don't care what you
Right.
give me. Just give me this
Right.
because I want a football team around me. Still never can figure out where they spend all their money, but I don't know. I don't think Bill puts it in his pocket, but you never know.
Skip, it would have been interesting to see if Larry didn't have Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, Tiny Archibald, Six Man, and Bill Walton, what he would have done. Or Magic didn't play with Kareem and didn't have James Worthy, Jamal Wilkes, Bob McAdoo. It would have been very interesting.
You know what they would have done? Figured it out. They would have adapted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, you have to. Right.
They would lift up average players
Right.
into very good players, just the way Jordan did. And they would have won championships anyway.
But what Coach Auerbach and the teams, the Dr. Buss and the guys that put these teams together realize the more great players you have, the better your chances are of winning. Now, I'm not saying that Michael played with Scottie Pippen. He's not as good as Larry Bird. He's not as good as Magic Johnson or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But he was a good player. Dennis Rodman, all he did was lead the league in rebounding like 7-8 times in all 3 years when he's in Chicago. He's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. So it wasn't like these guys were bad players. But Dame, you don't have a Rodman. You don't have a Bird. You don't have a McHale. You don't have a Kareem. You don't have a James Worthy. So how are you going to win again? Where's your Pippen?
How much pressure or expectation is on that team next year?
None.
Not much.
Exactly, Skip. That's Portland. We think about, we was talking about teams yesterday in the finals. We talked about the Clippers, and we talked about the Lakers, and we talked about the Nuggets. We talk about Utah.
I leave Portland out
We ain't
every
never talk
time.
about Portland.
I leave them out.
Yes.
And they were the 4th seed last year?
Yes.
Okay.
And made it to the Western Conference Finals,
Okay.
and they're not even being mentioned.
They're going to win a lot of regular season games, and they can beat Russell Westbrook head-to-head in the
Yes.
first round. Was it the first round? Yeah, I think
Yep.
it was. And Dame's going to make one big shot, and that was a shot of shots.
Yeah.
But it was a first-round shot, and then you come up empty against Golden State in fourth quarters of all those games, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Because I lost respect for him in those games because he didn't show.
Well, especially when you have 17, 18, 17-point leads in the third quarter
Yep.
and you lose the game.
Yep.
Look, it's very noble of you, Dame, but, bruh, it's about these chips. It's about these chips.
Yep.
Whether you get them there or not, you better go recruiting. Okay, you don't want to leave and go join somebody else. You better get on your phone.
Yep. Look, I love today's NBA. It's so much fun to talk about. It's starting to rival the NFL for drama, melodrama.
Right.
It's just rich. We're in early July, and we haven't been talking about NFL yet. We will.
You were right.
Right around the corner.
But I think the thing is now, Skip, what's going to happen is that the last 3 years is Golden State. Golden State's winning the finals. For the first time in 3 years, Skip, you don't really know. Okay, Clippers, Lakers, Bucks, Philly, Utah. For now, there's no clear cut. We start the season Golden State. The year before,
Okay.
Golden State.
Okay.
Golden State.
And it's more fun to watch in many ways because there's no Jordan, there's no Magic, there's no Bird on sheer mental toughness.
Right.
Killer will. I don't see it. So now that number 2 made his choice, all of a sudden everybody's got a chance. Great.
They really
I'll
don't.
take that.
They really don't.
Yeah.
Just like the NFL, all 32 teams think they got a chance. They really don't. Just like all 30 teams in the NBA think they got a chance. They really don't. We know with our title coming. Ride the wave, Skip.
We know your bet, that's
phony
for
goat.
sure.
Is that who we're talking about? The faux goat?
No, real.
Yeah.
8 to
Big
10
goat.
teams could probably at least make a case
Yeah,
for
they make a
themselves
case.
at
Sure.
this
Yeah.
point. All right, we're sticking with the NBA, and coming up is Kawhi's legacy on the line with the Clippers. Chris Broussard coming in to discuss that up next.
No mercy.
Back to the NBA. Kawhi choosing the Clippers created quite the ripple effect across the league. The Claw already led Toronto to their first NBA title. Now he has the chance to do the same for the Clippers. Meanwhile, that other LA team and LeBron, well, they missed out on convincing Kawhi to become a Laker, which may hurt the Kings' chance at a 4th title. The Athletic's Frank Isola wrote this about Kawhi. He's already a 2-time NBA Finals MVP who knew that going to the Lakers and winning with the purple and gold would have enhanced LeBron's legacy more than anything. Imagine winning a title with the Clippers while preventing LeBron from getting another ring. That would put Kawhi in a different stratosphere. This move was about Kawhi's legacy and plotting his own future. We are joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How do you think Kawhi and LeBron's legacies are impacted by Kawhi's decision?
I do agree with Frank. And the way their legacies are impacted is whoever wins out. I mean, we have to wait and see how they win. If one of them wins the championship with this team, they will become the first star to lead 3 separate teams to an NBA championship.
Well, considering that Kawhi wasn't the star of the Spurs,
He was Finals MVP.
so he was the star of that team.
He was one of them. I would give him credit. I would give him credit. I would give him credit. He was a Finals MVP.
Okay, I'm just gonna-
and he was emerging. So I would give him
If you go
credit.
back and break it down, I want you to one day
He
explain to
wasn't
me
the
how he
star.
won the MVP.
He defended
I don't get it.
LeBron. Granted, he didn't shut him down. We know 28-7, but he averaged 17 points.
He didn't
He
lead
went from
them in
averaging
scoring.
12
Tony Parker
points.
averaged 18.
He went from averaging 17, 18, but Tony Parker didn't play the defense that Kawhi played.
Okay, but Tim
Even
Duncan
though
led them in
a
rebounds.
great defender never shuts down a great scorer. You just
All
make
I've
it
heard
tough
is
on him.
28, 8, and 8, or whatever it is.
No, LeBron got
78,
his, but he did make it tough on him. He
did.
Kawhi's a good defender.
Okay.
So, but even if you take that, okay, so Kawhi already, for LeBron, let me go back to LeBron. If LeBron were to lead his 3rd team to a championship, it's another argument, even though I've said I don't think he'll pass Jordan, there is an argument to be made for LeBron. Longevity, the era, Jordan didn't have the super team era, and this would be another argument for LeBron. You led 3 separate teams to the championship. For Kawhi, you're already the only player to ever win Finals MVP in 2 separate conferences. Because remember when Kareem did it for Milwaukee, they were actually in the West at that time. And if Kawhi went to the Clippers, if he won it this year coming up, to go to teams in back-to-back years that not only have never won a championship, but never even been to the finals and win titles, that would be huge for him. Now, how would that impact LeBron if Kawhi wins this year? If LeBron begins to age and we see it on the court, wow, he's just not the same. His numbers dip. This isn't going to impact him. It's just he got old. Right. Like everybody gets old, so that wouldn't impact him. But if he's still putting up the numbers and playing great and they lose, don't get to the finals, now maybe some people will bring in the question, well, was he just running through the East, which was weak at that time? He's in the West, can't get to the finals. So that's how it could impact him. For Kawhi, I know you put on the tease, who needs the title more? Both of them are made men. We know that. But LeBron, I would say more just because the expectations are always higher for him. Kawhi, as great as he's been, he not yet is being mentioned in the breath of, he's been compared to Jordan because of the way they play, but he's not in Jordan. He's not even being really compared historically to Kobe, LeBron,
Bird,
Durant,
Magic, yeah.
Bird, right, you know what I mean? Now, he could get there. That's one of the things. If he wins, you begin to start, okay, maybe he is in that group. But for LeBron, he's already in that group, so the expectations are always going to be higher for him. So there's always more of a burden on him to win.
I want to look at it because everybody seems to look at it from Kawhi's perspective. Let me look at it from LeBron's perspective. And I want to ask Frank, I don't know Frank Isola, Skip, I know you know him, and I'm sure you know him also. What happens if LeBron wins the title and prevents Kawhi? How does that help LeBron and impact him? Because we just...
Impact Kawhi?
Yeah.
It's like I just said. I agree it would be a huge victory for LeBron,
why are we
but
putting those
Kawhi's,
2 guys in the same sentence?
Kawhi's lower, though. That's the thing. He's not viewed as good. You know the good book.
You
know the good book. What does it say?
No, he doesn't.
To who? He just fronting when he quotes it.
Too much is given, much is required.
Okay, who's been given, as great as Kawhi is physically, who's been given more physical gifts?
We took it.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
Who's been given the more mental, the basketball IQ, the court vision? LeBron James.
And who
much is given, much is required.
And who's been given the sneaky gene? Trying to recruit KD.
Thank you. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you for a year.
No, LeBron is much more upfront.
Yeah.
Look, I'm recruiting. Yeah. I'm going to get him Kawhi.
The sneaky
You're right
gene.
about that.
Guerrilla warfare.
You're right.
Sneaky Pete.
Yeah. Oh, Kawhi. Man, Kawhi don't say much. He on the phone. Hey, Kyrie, what's up? KD, you good? Jimmy, what you gonna do, man? Yeah.
You know his slogan, board man
That's
gets
a
paid?
good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Board man gets paid. It's actually chessboard man gets paid, right? Because he's playing chess.
Speaking of the board.
Right.
You know what?
Right.
Look.
That's right.
It's hard for me, Skip, Chris and Skip. You know, Kawhi doesn't have any regular season MVPs.
That's true.
It's hard for you to have, you have 3 finals MVP with no regular season MVPs. I mean, there's a reason why Shaq, named the guy that has 1 regular season MVP, is thought of as the GOAT in any sport. Now, the only guy that comes into mind, people say Barry Bonds, but it's hard because Barry not only doesn't have any titles, but he has 7 MVPs.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But you look at Gretzky.
And baseball is different.
Gretzky has titles and he has MVPs. Jordan has titles and he has MVPs. Brady, the same thing. So it's gonna be hard for Kawhi because Bird got 3-3. He don't have 3 finals MVPs, but he has 3 regular season. Magic has 3 MVPs. LeBron has 4. How does he? First of all, I don't even know how he gets into the top 10. Bron's in the top 5 and ain't going nowhere.
He's a ways. I think Kawhi is a ways from getting in that conversation. But it could happen if they keep winning.
Stop it.
Well, hold
Stop
on.
it. Just stop it. You're offending me.
Yeah, you're
Hold on. If he, look, I agree. He's not, nobody historically speaking, we're not comparing him to LeBron at this point. Or Kobe even at this point, okay? But if he keeps winning And it recently became fashionable to what? Compare him to who? Michael Jordan. Not that he's as good, but the style of play, he's not nearly as graceful and elegant as Jordan's game was. But if he keeps winning, then that might become a conversation top 10.
You're both missing the biggest point.
What's that?
It was almost 2 a.m. Eastern time when a stealth bomb got dropped by Sneaky Pete. And it damaged, that stealth bomb damaged 2 legacies, LeBron's and his, because I applaud him. He took the much tougher fork in the road because he went to the left, he went to the stepchild.
Right.
And he did choose to join forces with another guy who had snubbed LeBron, and they decided, let's go home because it's our home, it's not his.
Right.
And let's go share his building and let's go up against him. I applaud that because that took some measure of guts. But the cowardly way was actually the smarter way because I had to live with this man for 5 straight days last week throwing parades on his side of the table. It was over. It was going to be 3 more titles for LeBron James because they were going to be the prohibitive favorite. And you were just shaming me, saying I was going to have to live with this for the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. In perpetuity, these 3 were going to be arm in arm in arm, winning championships, dominating this league. So in one fell swoop, all of a sudden, he takes the left fork. And it's going to hurt his legacy because I don't know that he can win a championship going it alone, even with a guy I've called George Paul occasionally. I don't know if that's enough. They're a good team. They might be a tick above the Lakers right now. But what happened was, boom, stealth bomb. It leveled the playing field for everybody. It made everybody kind of the same. I like the Lakers. I like the Clippers. And I'm starting to like Denver. And I love Utah. And we can just keep going down the line. It's wide open thanks to one decision that could have gone completely the other way into super team. And, man, you want to talk about a legacy? What if LeBron, let's just do the hypothetical best case. What if he won 3 more championships to get to 6-6? Then you could argue, hey, he won as many as Jordan, and he doubled Jordan in finals appearances. He's 12-6. It would be staggering to me, and I couldn't argue against it because I would try. Definitely, I would try for 6-0.
Exactly.
But again, it would be such a number of 12 finals, 6-6.
Right.
And I, again, would it be fair? No, it wouldn't be fair because they super teamed the whole NBA.
This wouldn't be the super team.
What?
This Lakers team.
No, he was saying that
I'm
Kawhi
saying-
had
Oh,
joined.
he had gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
But and you would have eliminated the Clippers because then they don't get number 2 or Paul George, right?
Yeah.
And they're flailing. They're scrambling to sign all the guys that you just signed, right? And trying to put something together for maybe 2020, you know, like.
Yeah, they'd have been almost unbeatable because that's what made Golden State unbeatable.
Right.
Is that they had Clay, Steph, and KD. And so even if you had 2 superstars like LeBron and Kyrie or the Trailblazers or whomever else, Skip, you couldn't do anything with them because they had 3.
So I'm not sure. I told you earlier, I seriously doubt LeBron will win another championship. Their best shot will be this year because Father Time is starting to tap him on the shoulder, and we'll see. But he doesn't have enough firepower that they're the dominant team. So it's no done deal that he's going to go win a championship. You better do it now. Maybe I'll give you 2 shots the next year, but that's going to be
We
it.
don't pay attention to Father Time.
Yeah, okay.
We slammed
Really?
we slammed the door in his face.
There's one more
Well, he
guy.
slammed the door on your toe last year, I think.
There's one more guy, and right now, I get it, you might laugh, okay? But this move could have an impact on his legacy as well. Steph Curry. If he can prove, right? Because I think with a healthy Clay, I don't write off Golden State. I'm not, like you said, they're not the favorites by any stretch. But if they can get through this West and win a championship, whereas if Kawhi had gone to the Lakers, it was over.
Yeah.
Right? Steph was not going to win any more titles, most likely. But now, if he, like you said, the playing field's even. If he can lead that Golden State team to a championship, now his legacy, that's when you, again, start talking top 10
Okay,
with Steph.
unless Clay's the MVP of the finals.
And it could be Clay. I think for both of them, it's huge, but obviously Steph's their leader, their team. But yeah, maybe Clay's the finals MVP.
No
Excellent
parades for
points.
you.
Oh, we go to pray.
Yeah,
Coming
really?
to Beverly Hills, yep.
Really? Through Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
I think you better have it in downtown. It's too crowded in Beverly Hills.
Hey, if the Lakers win the title, we ain't won the title in forever.
Yeah.
We have it wherever we want to.
We got to leave
right
it
down
here.
Wilshire.
Excellent points, gentlemen, all the way around. Of course, Lakers the third overall favorite.
They
Vegas
block off Wilshire
odds.
for the LA
Clippers
Marathon.
first.
They do.
Chris, we're going to get you to stick around with us because coming up next, are the Lakers now unbeatable? Shannon's going to like
Magic.
this one.
Sneaky.
Magic Johnson thinks so. We'll discuss that one when we come back.
No mercy.
The Lakers roster looks quite different. In fact, it's gone through a complete overhaul. They've added several players, including Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins, and yesterday they signed Avery Bradley. But that's not all. Our friend Chris Haynes reports the Lakers intend to start LeBron at point guard next season. All these moves caught the attention of Magic Johnson, who tweeted yesterday, "Laker Nation, I'm dreaming about the fourth quarter Lakers team with LeBron, AD, Danny Green, Avery Bradley, and Kyle Kuzma. That's almost unbeatable." Chris Broussard's still hanging with us.
What?
Chris, do you agree with Magic there?
Look, we're talking about this five, right? The bottom line is when you say almost unbeatable, you're putting them in a historical context. So
Yes.
that's overstated. Okay, let's not, we just have to wait and see what they do.
Well, at least he said almost.
Right, give him almost. I do agree, though, with his sentiment that this team is very strong. And again, I'm talking about that five, which I think could be their starting five. And here's what I like about it. LeBron at point. Nobody in this day and age can control the tempo of a game like LeBron James. That's why
I agree.
Right? In 2015, when Kyrie's out, Kevin Love's out, he gave the Cavs a chance because he could control tempo.
Best three
slowing it
games
down.
of his whole career.
It was
Those three.
incredible.
It was.
Even in 2018, I'm sorry, 2016, when they won. Look at the scores. I mean, Golden State was a high-scoring, up-tempo team. They beat them, 92-89 for the last game? Like, because LeBron can slow it down. He's so big and strong, and he can play point, so he can control tempo. I like that with this group because one of the Lakers' strengths is their size. And if they're going against Golden State or Houston or even the Clippers, those teams are going to be faster and more athletic. But if LeBron can slow it down, then Cousins can become a force. Anthony Davis can use his size. Right. So I like that. Then you got Avery Bradley, who still, he's only 28 years old. He's been around a long time. People may feel like he's older, but he's only 28. Tremendous defender. Okay. When he was at his peak, he was right there with Pat Beverley.
He was.
Okay. And so you got him to guard the point guards, and he can also shoot the three. He's a 36% three-point shooter, so he can spread the floor. You got Danny Green, good defender. We know can shoot the three, a winner. And then AD, great defender. So now I've got three great defenders in my lineup. And Kuzma, even though I know he only shot 30% from three last year, 36% as a rookie, he's a good shooter. So I think this lineup is very strong. Skip, I would take this closing lineup over Denver for sure. I would take it over Utah for sure. And against like I said, the Clippers, Golden State, Houston, they've got a size advantage. So, and LeBron's going to slow it down and make it a big game. So, look, Magic, let's not make him a historical team, but he wasn't too far off on this.
Are you going to now throw another parade?
No.
You're getting excited again. I can see it in your face.
Now you see why Magic quit.
Well, he wanted to tweet.
Magic wanted to tweet. You can't tweet like this, Skip, when you work for the organization. You got to get outside the organization. So Magic was going outside from a burner account, tweeting that this is good.
Brave,
now he
right,
gets to be Magic Johnson, Skip. Look, no, this is too far, Skip. Now, look, I like Avery Bradley. But what he does provide them is someone that could guard Steph Curry, that could guard Russ before we know Russ was going to get traded, James Harden. So it gives them that great on-ball defender. Danny Green can also guard. I like that. You go JaVale. JaVale can protect the rim. AD can protect the rim. Now you got Avery. Now you got Green. I don't even know if this is going to be the closing lineup. Maybe KCP. I'm a play-as-you-go guy. You play well, you be in there. If you don't play well, sit your butt on the bench over here with me. That's the way it's going to be. But I like it, Skip. I like what they do. Skip, we scramble. in golf, you don't always hit right there. Sometimes you got to scramble. You're hitting the wood, you're hitting the bunker. Skip, you know about scrambling.
Do I?
I know you.
That's all I ever do.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm pretty good at it.
So I like what they've done. I like the lineup. I like the depth that they've added. It's ours to lose.
Yours to lose. Shannon Sharpe.
Wow.
Interesting. First comment I would like to make is to my man, Magic Johnson, and I love you, Magic, but you just need to back off and stop it for a while. Just lay off for a little while, because he's desperately trying to get back in the good graces of Laker Nation. We're almost unbeatable.
It's too late.
Wait a second, Magic. You messed up.
You come in
Kawhi. He's being blamed, right?
It's too late. It's too late.
You threw them all under your bus, and then you backed over them about 7 times,
Yes.
and then you wondered why number 2's whole contingent said, whoa, what's going on with these people?
Well, imagine what was going
Why
on
is
with
every detail being
Skip, they asked, imagine what was wrong with that. What's going on with the dysfunction? Oh, yeah, we had it out, but we good now.
We're good.
Family.
It's all in the past.
Yeah. Why?
Brothers and
that's not
sisters.
true. They just made that
Yeah.
up. That's not
Right.
true.
Yeah, Rob and I are brothers. I don't know about that. So I do like all the little moves that got made. And yet, I'm going to remind you, Avery Bradley was still on the market as of about 24 hours ago.
Which I
okay,
don't get it, but you're
okay,
right.
But he was. And Danny Green hung on the market for a while, even though everybody's
He's waiting on
waiting.
Lakers.
I know, I got it. I gave him a lot of money, man.
Because Dallas wanted him.
15
Dallas
million?
had an extra year. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would love to get him for 10, but Dallas was going to pay him, so we had to snatch him up from Dallas.
So I'm going to boil this down for you. There are 2 X factors on this roster, and how they turn out will determine the fate of your Lakers this year. And obviously you have 2 superstars, and it always starts and ends with those 2 guys. How do they finish the game? Can they close? Because you got to have somebody who can close. All these other pieces are nice, but they're all just pieces. They're all in the end, you know how it works.
Yes.
In the playoffs, they're all just a bunch
Right.
of guys. But there are 2 guys on here that might not just be another guy. And I'm going to start with Kuzma. I was stunned that he wasn't thrown into the Pelican trade, because at the trade deadline, he was always included in the Dell Demps package, right? And I was convinced that there was enough desperation that he would be part of the package. But it's also possible that David Griffin, who is a shrewd operator, decided that he would prefer Josh Hart just as another piece coming off the bench, a scrapper, a tough guy who will fight you.
Good defender.
Scratch with you. Very good defender. And he's about 6'5", so he can play the wing. But maybe he wasn't interested in Kyle Kuzma, because to your point, the drop-off from rookie to sophomore year was pretty precipitous from the three-point line. Now, do I think that's his fate in the NBA? I do not. But he is a greenest light shooter, man. He's got no conscience. And maybe David Griffin said, I don't know about that guy, because he has not shown me that he will defend yet. Right. I don't know. He can push LeBron into defending, all that, but I'm not sure about him. But he does have guts to me. So is he going to emerge? He's going to go north or south this year.
Yes.
Could he emerge into what I call a half star, like an almost star? Mm-hmm. Because you need him to be that guy. Can he become your 3rd star? Maybe he's got that. He's certainly got the makeup for it. He believes in himself.
Yes.
The way nobody else does of those kids. Man, he was the one who just said, give me the ball and get out of my way. I'm going to shoot it.
And he seemed to be the guy that was least affected by the trade, all the trade rumors
Seemed
swirling
like
around.
he just bought right back
He's
in
like,
and said, I'm here, I'm good.
here.
Right.
Okay, I buy all that. The other guy is DeMarcus Cousins. He is an even bigger X factor, because, as we keep saying, he's averaged 21 and 11 for his career. Can he turn back into a star? Because for a while he was, I would call him a star. He made 5 All-Star teams, right? But last year he's having a hard time just getting up and down the floor. We saw flashes of brilliance in the finals. We saw 3 games in which he flashed the old DeMarcus. Can you do that regularly for this team? Because he could emerge as a force. Now you got me. You got something. So those 2 guys are going to determine the fate. All the other guys are just nice players, but they don't add up to championship to me. But these 2 guys could break back out.
I think what you didn't mention with those 2 guys, and I agree, they're critical. If one of them's not going to start, we assume, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know that. I mean,
so you'd start AD, LeBron, Cousins,
Kuzma,
and Danny Green. Right? The thing is, who would guard because you don't want LeBron having to guard the point guard.
Okay, but didn't Anthony sort of prefer to play that sort of 4 role, like
he does prefer it, but in today's NBA, it's so small. Like I get, he does prefer playing the 4. My point is, if one of them doesn't start, it looks to me like one won't start. How do they handle it?
I don't know.
I mean, Boogie, I never thought Golden State should have started him. I thought he would have been better coming off the bench.
And I think they thought that he wouldn't.
He wouldn't like it, right? So that's my question with the Lakers and Kuzma, who I think rightly could feel like I'm the 3rd guy. If he doesn't start, is he happy? Or is he defending? Is he all bought in? So I think those are some of the questions, too.
Trying to get that tip. We're trying to get that chip. So, with that being said, we're going to do what we need to do. Kuz, if you need to come out the bench, come out the bench. Boogie, we just need Boogie to get back to Boogie. He might not give us 21 and 10, but can he give us 15 and 8 consistently? We good. Because LeBron will give us 25, 10, and 8.
Will he ever be back to that guy in Sacramento?
No,
that guy.
I don't know if he get back there, Skip.
Because that guy.
Skip, that guy was 26 and 12.
But here's the thing with that guy. They never won.
And they didn't have this around him. So you could be that.
He's not going to get those
Right.
numbers.
One reason they didn't win, he just has little to no interest in playing defense. And I've talked to several coaches who've even been in here who have said, man, just get him in the pick and roll, and he's just lost.
Yeah.
And that's the question with him. Because even if he's scoring, if he's giving it up on the other end, especially
he's slow
if he's
of foot,
threes.
and then he tears his Achilles and he ruptures his quad. You even slower than you were at your peak when you were healthy. So, it's going to be tough. But we got AD and we got JaVale to erase any mistakes that we might make.
All right.
And we loaded. And we can play them D2 now, Skip. Don't sleep on JaVale rim protected. AD, Bradley,
I will
Green.
look, if this was, 10 years ago, 7 maybe, before the three-point shot became so prolific, they would pretty much be a lock, the Lakers. Because the game, you know what I mean, with post play and all that, it would be, you wouldn't be able to stop them, but the threes changed everything.
Okay. So who are your 3 shooters? Jared Dudley, Danny Green,
Avery Bradley,
KCP,
Troy Daniels.
A little bit.
Yeah, we got enough to keep you honest.
Kuzma, that's what they get. Do they have, I don't know if they have a knockdown. I mean, Danny was 45% last year.
We got enough to keep you honest.
Danny will come and he will go.
That's
Trust
okay.
me.
I think most of their guys are like that. I will give you that. They don't have that one.
That's why they on one-year deals.
Right.
There's a reason why they on one-year deals, Skip, man, because they come and go. And it just so happens if they don't come this year, they're going to be gone next year.
Well, boy, this looks a lot different than roster Magic put together, right? All those playmakers.
It does.
Yeah.
Great stuff, gentlemen. Chris, we appreciate you being here with us. Still to come today, Kawhi. Did he make the right move to the Clippers? Stephen Jackson
here
with us with his take. Up next when Undisputed returns.
No mercy.
Kawhi Leonard certainly had the NBA world anxiously awaiting his big decision for days. Finally, he chose the Clippers over the Lakers and Raptors. The Claw will form a super duo with Paul George and is now part of a team with the best odds to win the title next season. We are joined by FS1 NBA analyst and Kawhi's former teammate, Stephen Jackson. Stephen, we appreciate you being here with us.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
Tuesday. Good morning
Glad to be here.
All
Thanks
you do
for
is
having
hit
me.
game winners, right?
Feeling good.
Good.
Yeah.
Got off to a good start.
Yeah.
Got off to a good start, and I got one of the surprises. He might be in the NBA soon. Frank Nitti, yes. He's destroying this league.
Good info.
Okay.
All right, let me ask you about your former teammate, Kawhi. You think he made the right decision choosing the Clippers?
As a player and with everything that's been going on, and even after talking to him, he made the decision that he wanted, so it's definitely the right decision. You know, people can say what they wanted him to do or what he should have done or who he should have played with, but this is his decision. And after talking to him, after everything came out, the first thing he told me was, I wasn't finna make a decision and rush and do what everybody else wanted me to do. I took my time and I did what I wanted to do. Once he told me that, I was happy with it because that's all you want. You know, he is good. Everybody, if you get an opportunity to come play at home in your home state, any player in the NBA would take advantage of that. You know, if I had got a chance to play in Houston, besides San Antonio, I would have loved to play in Houston because that's close to home. Every player wants to do that. He made the right decision for him, and you have to applaud him for that.
Why did he tell you that he chose Clippers over Lakers?
Well, he didn't say that. He didn't tell me why he chose the Clippers. All he said was it was a lot of pressure on people trying to make him do what they wanted him to do. And even when everybody was saying, well, his decision going to come out at a certain time Friday, he made it a point not to do that because it wasn't what he wanted to do. Everybody knew he wanted to come home. Everybody knew he wanted to play on a team where he had to win a championship, and nobody in the world thought Paul was going to be here with him.
Nobody.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to go ahead and say this for the world to hear. Kawhi said this at the end of the message. You never know what I have under my sleeve.
Well, that's a fact. You learned that the hard way.
I love it. I love it.
I told you, old sneaky.
I love it.
I believe it was the right decision because, like you said, and what he told you, that this was the decision that was best for him. I believe he could have won longer with the Lakers. He'd have been set up better because he has AD. So when LeBron steps aside, he and AD can still be paired together because they're very close in age. So now you got another 5, 6, 7 years run, even after LeBron steps away. But to go to the Clippers, it'd have been very interesting if he could not have pulled this off, what his decision would have been. Now, it's easy to say, well, he went to the Clippers, he's going back home, but he did steal Paul George from OKC to get him to come along with him. Now you can't get Paul George to come to Toronto. You can't get Paul George to come to the Clippers. Now what do? Would he have gone to the Clippers solo? Would he have gone back to Toronto? Because I felt the reason why he didn't go back to Toronto, Skip, he saw the toll that it took on him. It wore him down.
Yes.
I don't care what anybody says. You can talk about Siakam has stepped up, but it wore him down. And he knows he needs another superstar because he dodged a bullet. He got a lot of breaks. You talked about this earlier. Literally and figuratively. Guys broke things in order for him to be in play. He knows it.
Yeah.
He knew that.
He knows it.
So he's like, nah, I ain't going this long. I'm not going to tempt fate again. I need to get somebody. That's why he reached out to KD. I need somebody. That's why he reached out to Jimmy Buckets. That's why he reached out to Kyrie and ended up getting Paul George. He knows Kawhi is smarter than we ever gave him credit for. And because he doesn't do a whole lot of talking, he was talking a lot behind the scenes. and come to find out, we found that out before school. Where does noise coming from? That was Kawhi doing all that talking, trying to get those guys, and he was able to get Paul George. But for him, Skip, this was the right decision. And like he said, he didn't want to rush a decision and do whatever everybody else thought he should do. Man, go back to Toronto, run it back. Go to the Lakers. Man, the history, the legacy, play with LeBron and AD. Man, if I can get Paul George, I'm going to the Clippers.
The basketball guards show you a lot of favor. But when they show you favor, you got to hold on to it because it don't last long. So he understands the basketball guard showed him a lot of favor this year.
They did.
Getting guys hurt and helping him win a championship on his own. You know, so now he got to feel like this not going to happen again. I got to get right.
They make it up. They get you back.
They get you back, exactly.
Well,
All comes back around.
to your question, your hypothetical.
Yeah.
This is just my best guess. If he had tried KD and tried Kyrie and tried Jimmy Butler and then tried and failed on Paul George, I believe he reluctantly and maybe slightly unhappily would have said, okay, I'll join forces with LeBron and AD on the Lakers. Because I do think from the start, his plan in San Antonio, you know how I feel. I don't like the way he did the Spurs, but that's just me. You've had your clashes with that organization, but for whatever reason, he and his uncle decided we want out. And our goal is, we may have to go through somewhere else to get there, but we're going home. And he pulled it off. And I got to applaud him because I sat here for 5 days as we waited and waited and let the clock tick last week, wondering what he was doing. Was he just showboating? You know, was he just showing off like I got the whole world at my beck and call right now? Am I just going to take my sweet time? Nope, he wasn't taking his sweet time. He was using his sweet time to work that flip phone, right?
Yep. You know, got to flip.
And yeah, that's what he says.
Good job, Skip.
So I was challenging him day after day. Have the guts to go to the same building that man plays in, your man, and take him on. Now, I had no idea he could get, because I thought once Jimmy Butler went to Miami, I thought there's no market. There's no co-star.
Skip, everybody thought like you thought because, like, okay, Jimmy's gone. He wants to go solo. KD and Kyrie paired up. Paul George really never registered because he just signed a 4-year deal. He got 3 years left. Yep. He went back with Russ, so he loves Russ. He says, I'm here for the long haul.
I still can't get the video out of my mind of the 4th of July bash at the lake in Oklahoma City, and he's pledging allegiance.
Yes.
Till death do us part.
Right. So I'm like, who can he link up with that's going to go with him to where he wants to go, which is the Clippers, and says, I didn't see it. Giannis is not going anywhere. So I'm like, he's stuck. He's got to go either Lakers or back to Toronto.
Okay, so I was highly impressed. It took some guts, even with Paul George joining, to go to the Clippers. They are the doormat. They are the stepchild. They have no history. They have no legacy. And you're going to go there and try to do that against that guy and AD in the same building? That takes some gumption, right?
Yeah. But after he won that title, Skip, I told you, I said he sees himself on the same level as KD and
Well,
LeBron.
he just
Always
said
has. Always has.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he
said-
just spoke loudly
Yes.
without saying a word. He still hasn't done a press conference, has he? Will he ever do
Nothing.
one with the Clippers? I don't know. We haven't heard peep from him, right?
It just, hey, I'm wearing
Okay.
number 2. Just hold the jersey up.
All right.
We good. We good.
Okay.
Quiet assassin.
But I am here to tell you, maybe the more cowardly way, but the smarter way, the shrewder way, is to pair up with LeBron and AD. If you just want to maximize your championships, they would have been prohibitive favorites.
Oh, yeah.
You would have been in your glory.
Oh, yeah, I'd
You would have been, oh.
I'd have been intolerable. Skip.
If he didn't win in Toronto, that would have been more likely.
Okay,
But
all right.
after you win
Okay,
a
he
championship
did.
on your own, you kind of don't mind standing on your own.
Unless you just want to start
Right.
stacking them stacks,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
stacking.
Yeah.
Like what
You want
if you go
3,
win
4,
3?
5?
You go to L.A.
Yeah.
Go to the Lakers.
Lakers.
Yes, no
See,
question.
you're calling the Lakers L.A. and the
Yeah.
Clippers actually.
I call it
play.
Clippers.
I know,
Yeah, the
he's
Clippers.
calling
That's
the
what it
Clippers.
is. That's what
They're
they
just
always
the
gonna be.
Clippers.
Tell them, Stacks, that's what they gonna be.
It's always been
Okay,
that
so you must have been shocked late Friday night here. I don't know where you were, which coast you were on.
I was on the East Coast.
You were on the East Coast, but it was like 2. You probably didn't know until you woke up.
I was up.
Were you?
Yeah, I was up.
I guess you're always up,
I
right?
was actually up watching Big 3 games.
Oh, were you?
Watching film, yeah.
Oh,
But Skip,
watching
remember I
film.
told you Friday? I said he gonna let this thing go in the middle of the night but he didn't realize he didn't want to make headlines, but he didn't realize because he had taken so long, it was gonna dominate the news cycle for the next 72 hours because of him and how long it took him. Now it wouldn't have played out like if he had made his decision, say that Sunday night or that Monday, Tuesday, we done. We talk about it Wednesday, Thursday, we done with it.
True.
But because he let it play out, and when he did it, man, everything social media went bonkers. Because I thought it was a joke. Because I thought somebody done photoshopped it. Because I looked at Sham says he's signing with the Clippers. And then what? I was like, but they couldn't. I said, these guys can't Photoshop anything like that. I said, oh, man. I said,
Before I text him, I follow his sister on Instagram. And once she posted it, I knew it was official.
And were you shocked?
I was
You didn't
shocked
see
when,
it coming, right?
I didn't see him. I seen him coming to Lakers or Clippers, but I didn't see Paul coming with him.
Yeah.
That was the shocker. Paul was the shocker.
You just shake
because,
your head.
like you said, he pledged to be in OKC, but after 1 year, he's seen that wasn't going to work.
Right.
And just being in OKC is just not the place, you know, for California guys. You can't come from California, go to OKC, and expect to be comfortable. That's not
well,
even.
he had to live in Indiana. Indiana's very comfortable to OKC
Yeah.
here to Skip.
They very similar. I've been both. They're very similar.
I'll give you that. So what shot do you give number 2 to win a championship with the Clippers?
Just as big as a shot as anybody else in the NBA.
Okay.
Everybody has to go out there and win. Even though he have Paul George, they still have to go out there and win, just like LeBron and AD have to go out there and win. You have to go out there and win it, regardless of what guys, they look good on paper, and we've seen that before. Teams look good on paper, don't even make the playoffs. So these guys, they can get it done. It just depends on how they all buy in. They got Lou, they got Trash, they might have the best defense as far as guards in the league.
They might.
Pat Beverley, Kawhi, and Paul George. Who's going to score on that offense, on that defense? It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
But they want to see them. Boy, we tried out that AD. What y'all going to do with AD? What
You
they
better
going to do with AD?
think, LeBron is thinking about every time he come down, it might be Kawhi, Paul George on.
We want
Trust
that.
me.
We want that. Did you know even when
Right now.
Kawhi in 2014 when they lost? Did you know LeBron shot 57% from the floor? He was 28, 7, and 6. They
Really?
shot against Kawhi. That maybe it's different Kawhi.
But what was the outcome?
Yeah, but you didn't tell me. Were you gonna tell me that D-Wade was gonna score 14 and Chris Bosh was gonna score 13? You ain't gonna. Well, you gonna tell me that going into? Okay.
I wasn't going to tell you that.
Well, but you gonna tell me that?
I wasn't going to tell you that.
We gonna be all right. I like our lineup too.
Remember what I said last year, though, on the same show. Keep that same energy coming this summer when the Lakers make a move. Remember, I said that last year. Find the footage. I said, everybody killing the Lakers, keep that same energy, because come this time next year, y'all going to be back on the Lakers bandwagon.
Sam Presti did us no favors. Because we'd have had Kawhi. Sam Presti, you should have dug your heels in. Say, I want 10 unprotected lottery picks.
That might have done it.
I want your lottery picks all the way out to 2030.
Yeah, they probably would have gave it to him anyway. After the year Kawhi just had.
Yeah, hey, they would have. they didn't have no choice.
Great points, gentlemen. Steve, we're going to get you to stick around with us because speaking of Sam Presti and OKC, More questions and drama. Why doesn't anyone want to play with Russell Westbrook? We'll discuss that up next.
No mercy.
Russell Westbrook has seen better days. He recently lost Paul George to the Clippers 3 years after Kevin Durant left him to sign with the Warriors. Adding to his woes, Russ's Thunder have lost in the first round of the postseason for the last 3 seasons. Stephen Jackson still hanging with us. Stephen, what does all of this tell you about Russ?
To me, it's a blessing in disguise for Russ. This is your way to get out of OKC. You want to be loyal. You stayed there through all the Kevin Durant stuff. You came out and said, I want to be loyal. This organization drafted me. You know, I want to be here and show some loyalty. Well, now, you don't have to look unloyal. They looked unloyal to you. They got rid of Paul. They got rid of the guy that they brought there to help you to win and for longevity. Now he's gone. This is your opportunity to say, well, hey, I want to get out. I want to go team up with somebody and play, and it don't make you look bad. So this is a blessing in disguise for Russ, and I think if he can get to Miami or somewhere where he's with another star that can embrace him, that a hard-nosed guy like Jimmy Butler, I think he'll benefit from it. But it's a blessing in disguise for him. This is your way out.
I think it looks horrible for Russ because Paul George stood up on the stage a year ago and says he wants to be here. We're going to win a title here. And he dipped. Kevin Durant dipped. James Harden dipped. That doesn't look good. They like Russ off the court, but they convinced Paul George and Kevin Durant mainly were convinced we're not going to win a title with Russ. His style of play is not going to lead us to a championship. That's what they said. I don't care how you dress it up. Well, they said, I can't win.
Who said that?
By leaving. That's what they said.
Oh, okay.
Without saying a word.
All right. Nobody actually said that.
No.
Let me ask you a question. If you married and your wife don't come home again, what's she saying?
She made a bad decision. The worst decision she ever made in her life.
She said,
Sorry, she lost.
Yeah, she ain't got to say nothing. She's telling you stats.
I mean, right.
Exactly. That's what they're saying. And it's a failure on the organization part, Skip, because you're going to have 3 guys that go into the Hall of Fame. You had them in their prime.
I played against
You
them.
have 3 MVPs.
You saw them up close and real
All 3 of them.
Because you were up 2-0 on that group,
And they
right?
came back 4 games
4
straight.
straight games.
3 MVPs, 3 Hall of Famers, and you got 1 finals appearance out of that.
So you gonna blame one person?
No, but no, look, they cheaped James Harden. For an extra $5 million, you could have had James Harden for another 3 years.
That's where it all went downhill.
What you should have done is that you should have played like KD. You're our guy. KD was the best player.
He was.
You got to put your arms around the best player and say, you our guy. But that's not what they did. They said, Russ, you're our guy. KD says, okay, that's y'all guy. I can't win with him at least. If y'all was going to tell me I'm your guy, I can stay here and stomach it. But since he's your guy, win with him. I'm out of here. And you get nothing for it.
Right.
And now, Russ, that contract, 4 years, 170. The last year, the player option for $47 million. With all those mileage on that body, talk to me in another year, see how that contract looks. It looks bad right now. Only John Wall has a worse contract. But check back with me in 2 years with all the mileage on that body.
So to your point, I'm not going to leave it alone because I know the Thunder pretty well because I'm from Oklahoma City. That team, after they traded James Harden after that year you guys lost in the conference finals to him, they traded to Houston. They got Steven Adams out of it. Effectively, these are the draft picks that they came out with. Jeremy Lamb. They got Kevin Martin in the deal. They got Abrinas. They got Mitch McGary. That was what you got for James Harden. And I couldn't figure out why they didn't. They're going to have to go over the luxury tax to pay him. And I believe that Presti said, I'll never be able to pay all 3 of them for a long time, for years. So they just said, let's cut our loss here, take the best deal on the table. And I don't think they knew quite what James Harden was going to turn into yet.
No. Right.
Even though Sam Presti stole him in the draft.
Yes.
He stole all these guys in the draft. Kevin was already their guy.
Yeah,
right.
But the point is, remember, after that year, going into the next year, they win 60 games next year with just Durant and Westbrook. 60 and 22.
In the West.
In the West. That's powerhouse
Great
stuff,
year.
right?
Awesome year.
And then they go in as one of the big favorites into the postseason. And what happens in round 1? Russ gets Patrick Beverley, and Beverley tries to steal the ball from him and hits his knee, and his knee's pretty. It's pretty. It can't take much of a beating at all. It's been trouble.
Well,
It
if
was
you
already,
look at him, Skip, the way he walk, he's knock-kneed to begin with.
Yeah, he is.
So his knees turn in a little bit. So, and he went to call a 20-second timeout. Pat Bev clipped him. And
meniscus
yeah,
tear. It
and
wasn't it wasn't a rupture.
ACL, right.
Came back quick from it, too.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
He was out for the rest of the playoffs.
They keep having to go back in that.
Okay, so where they got fooled was then they meet Memphis in the next round, and they win the first game with only Durant as their solo star. And Kevin Durant did not play well because they lost the next 4 games. And go look at the numbers in the fourth quarters of those 4 games. He shot 28% from the field and 20% from 3 in the fourth quarters. So that's where I got fooled because I was thinking, Kevin, come on, you're better than that. And that's where they decided Russ over KD. And they end up letting KD just
He walked.
Yeah.
Nothing. That kind
Okay.
of you can't let Skip. You can't let a player like that walk out.
you can't.
Especially if you have his rights. But they didn't know. They didn't know, Skip, because they got no indication that he was going to leave. Because normally you start hearing things, swirling. You're like, I got to move the guy because I got to get something. Because if he walks out the door and I get nothing, I got to get something. At least they got something. We don't like who are those? Jeremy Lamb and you got Steven Adams. Okay, but you got something.
Yep.
You got nothing
Okay.
for KD.
Okay, so I hear your point about he's going to be able to get out from under, but they're going to have to basically give him away.
Right.
That's where you got, which is why I told you earlier today. They should have, if you're going to trade Russell Westbrook, trade him at least a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, when value is sky high.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's still averaging triple-double now.
But see,
Let's not forget that.
Guess what?
Forget that.
And can't get out the first
3
round.
years straight.
Can't get out the first round.
Can't do it by himself.
We had Paul George.
You're right.
Had Kevin Durant.
You're right. But they also ran into Damian Lillard.
Really?
There's nothing they could do that series.
Damn Lillard. I mean, so what Utah the year before?
And they had Carmelo for what it was worth.
This Portland series was just one of them series where a great player is nothing you can do, and they couldn't do nothing with Damian.
Okay, what about Utah and Donovan Mitchell?
I think Russ actually played good that series.
He played good for a couple of games. Paul George was a no-show.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, before
their
this
team
year,
not that good in the West now. Let's be honest.
But let's be, since we're being all the way honest, let's be honest. Paul George, before last year, the only game-winning shots he was hitting in Gatorade commercials.
But
what?
But you gonna measure a guy by how many game winners he hits?
No,
we don't measure players like
hold
that.
on. Did you see him in Indiana?
He played well in Indiana. What you mean?
And what was he doing?
They didn't win. He played well.
Okay.
They didn't win.
Okay. So what?
LeBron didn't win last year. So did he have a bad year?
No. I'm not saying. LeBron a made man. I know you ain't. Hold on. Stagnant. See, this way you
I had to make a point. I had to make that point now.
This way you and I got to part ways. You just compare Paul George to LeBron.
Just because you don't win don't mean you didn't play well.
Oh, my goodness.
Is that right, though? Just because you didn't win don't mean you didn't play well.
Do you remember LeBron took LeBron and 4 guys that he got out the YMCA and came back on Paul George in Indiana from a 25-point lead?
I do remember that.
You remember Paul George passed up 2. Had 2 shots. We talked about it on the show. He had 2 shots and then got mad at C.J. Miles talking about he needed a shot when he passed it up twice.
He was punishing Miami.
This was game 1 on a Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
Had a chance it was at Cleveland.
At Cleveland.
Had a chance to put them down 0-1 in their building. 2 shots to do it.
You know
I
what
don't
we
want
sound
these
like
shots.
right now? We sound like when we was talking about Braun when he passed the ball to Corver. Same thing. We you know what I'm saying? We talking about what they didn't do. They're both great. Paul had a great year now.
But here's the thing, though. He didn't get, but
he's not LeBron.
Corver didn't pass the ball back. He took the shot. C.J. passed it to him, and Paul hard potatoed it back to him.
He did.
Look,
he did.
This can't make Russ feel good.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to leave, Stack.
This is his way out without having to seem like he's being ungrateful for what they've done for him.
Okay, but here's,
you know what I mean?
here's the point. I know you love him. I love to watch Russell Westbrook. I wouldn't want to play with him, and I don't think you would love playing with him either.
I would because I know he cares. There's so many guys in the NBA right now that care about what the game can do for him and not about
Most
the
people
game.
think he cares about his stats.
That's correct. Does he care about his brand and stats?
I wouldn't say that because he plays hard. Like
I know.
It's not like he's going on an ESPN game and I'm gonna get 30 just because I'm on ESPN. He does this every night, whether they're on TV or not.
Let me ask you a question. When they're shooting free throws, how many point guards in the history of the game, other than Magic Johnson, did you ever see John Stockton a lot of them?
I'm glad you asked me that.
Yeah.
How many point guards you know go after rebounds like him?
Because why?
No, I'm just saying. That's effort.
Yeah.
That's wanting to.
But the effort takes away from your jump shot late in ball games because you're tired. That's why you're shooting 29% from the 3.
Well, what does Ben Simmons shoot?
But I ain't talking about Ben Simmons.
I'm just saying you want to talk about somebody shooting.
I'm talking about Russ. I'm talking about Russ because right now you're saying Paul George and Kevin Durant says, I do not believe. Kevin Durant said, I tried it for 9 years. Paul George said, after a year and a half, I saw the writing on the wall. I'm good.
But nobody's actually said that. It's a whole bunch of assumptions. They said Kawhi bought a house in Toronto. Everybody was believing.
Ain't nobody don't know. He tried to get him out. That's that.
I'm just saying, though. Nobody's never said
You
that.
want words or deeds?
I want words.
I love playing with Russ as you check out the door. I love playing with Russ
Because
as I go someplace else.
It was about a better opportunity for KD to win championships.
No. But if he could win a championship there, he would have stayed, right?
Okay, so playing with Russ, then going to play with Steph, Clay, Draymond, that's a no-brainer.
If I can win a championship where I'm at.
It's a little harder. It's not the same team.
Because guess what? What did they say about KD? You had them down 3-0. You had them down 3-1. That team that you joined, you had them down 3-1. And what happened?
They did.
We got to leave it here, gentlemen.
nailed it. They nailed it.
Awesome stuff. Amazing points.
They nailed it.
So much for being here
Thank
with
you.
us.
I love it. You know I love being there.
Thad
My
Fauché
guy.
shopping Russ hard. We'll see if there's a market for him with that contract. Time will tell. All right. Who might actually want to team up with Kyrie Irving? We'll discuss that.
No mercy.
So it now appears Kawhi was dead set on playing with another superstar. ESPN's Zach Lowe reporting Kawhi reached out to Kyrie Irving about pairing up before ultimately teaming up with Paul George. And Kyrie ultimately, of course, went to Brooklyn with KD. Shannon, what does this tell you?
Kawhi does more talking than we previously thought. I see why he don't want to talk on camera. He be talking on the phone all the time. Hotline guy. It also shows that Kawhi is a lot more smarter than we gave him credit for because he didn't talk. We allowed Kawhi to know, he knew what's going on. He knows in order to win in this league, you need another superstar. Kawhi also knows that he needs load management, and he needs someone that when he's not there, that can carry the load. And he also knows that when he is there, if he's having an off night, KD, Kawhi, Jimmy Buckets, ultimately Paul George can carry the scoring load, and he can still play lockdown defense. He can do that. That never goes away. But sometimes your offensive game, you struggle. You can't make shots, and Paul George can pick up that slack. So it just goes to show me that Kawhi knew what was up. No matter where he was going, he was trying to bring a superstar with him. Lakers, he didn't have to because there were two already there. But if he was going to go back to Toronto, which I don't really think you don't need no meeting with the team that you already been there for a year. You know what they offer. So basically the Clippers, so if he was going somewhere to the Clippers, he was trying to get a superstar to come with him. I don't have a problem with that because everybody needs to link up because that's where the league is now. Everybody's getting two superstars. Let's go play ball.
So the more I hear about what transpired those 5 days of last week when we kept waiting and waiting for a decision, I have gained a measure of respect for number two. I have also gained far more confidence in my original opinion. He is not to be trusted.
Come on.
Am I right? I'm right.
Oh, sneaky.
Okay.
Who's sneaky, Skip?
Sneaky Pete. This man was a shrewd operator, and I do not believe, now that what I know, I do not believe that Uncle Dennis was his puppet master. I think this was all number two. I think he was pulling all the strings himself because, by all reports, he sought Kevin Durant and sought Kyrie and tried to explain to them and talk to them. He recruited them hard. And we don't know that side of him because we rarely see any but maybe little glimpses of him. But everybody said, oh, he's so shy, he's so innocent, he's so camera shy.
And the ones you got to worry about, Skip.
Yeah,
the more shy was, the more quiet was.
You know what? Wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what? He's the wolf disguised as Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother. Remember that story?
Yes.
Remember, that's who he was. He's disguised as grandmother, but he's the wolf, man.
Exactly.
Because you just, grandmother, what big can. Remember that? Okay.
He's quiet like, they think I'm quiet.
Yeah.
Check this out, bro. What's going on with you?
Okay. It's why I kept trying to tell you through that hard, cold, long year of him missing 73 games in San Antonio, why I was so suspicious. I kept saying he just has a thigh bruise. The best organization in sports finally said, that's enough. In January, they said, we declare you capable of all basketball activities. And they don't do that because they are so patient with their players. They're so good to their players. He wanted out, and he was going to quit his way out of San Antonio. And again, I give him credit because he pulled it off. He had to play 1 year of purgatory in Toronto. He got where he wanted to go, and he got another co-star to go with him. That's That's diabolical.
And I believe he leaked the information.
Yeah.
He leaked information that he was going back to Toronto, and they put it out there. He's like, I'm not going to Toronto.
No.
And the information got leaked out about the Lakers.
They
He's
did.
like, I'm not going there. The only team we heard nothing the entire time was the Clippers. And he was behind the scene working to get Paul George.
Kawhi was definitely testing them, and one passed, two failed. All right, coming up next is Tom Brady about to get his favorite receiver back.
Yep.
We'll debate that one up next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic here on Undisputed. Rob Gronkowski hanging out with his old friend Tom Brady yesterday. Gronk catching passes from Brady at UCLA in a private workout. Now, Gronk says it was great. Tom needs someone to throw to, so he calls Mr. Reliable Robbie G. The rumor mill's cranked up. Shannon, is that a sign Gronk might be playing next year?
Gronk ain't coming back, Skip.
No?
Gronk done lost like 30 pounds. Gronk come back and get broke up. Gronk need to come over here and sit in here and talk with us.
You think so?
Leave that alone, Skip. No, he is.
He's still 6'6", 250.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
No.
Yeah.
You remember he tried that Tom Brady method and he wasn't going to lift no weights and do all those bands? It kept him broke up.
Really?
He's not even doing bands now. Leave that alone.
Really?
Yeah.
I think just the opposite. I don't think they got together to play catch for old time's sake. I think it's for new time's sake because this is just classic load management.
Okay.
He's taking a page out of number 2's book. He's just going to take off until, I don't know, week 8, 9, 10, something.
But here's the difference between number 2 and Gronk.
Yeah.
Number 2 have coaches that are understanding and receptive to
I
this
know.
kind of behavior.
But
Coach Belichick.
Okay, but he won't even be back in the fold until week 9 or 10, and then all of a sudden, you got to go. You got to play.
Hold on. So you saying Coach Belichick was like, oh, yeah, come on back, Gronk.
Sure. He's Gronk.
Okay.
Who made the catch of the Super Bowl last year?
Skip.
Right? Huh?
Coach
Who made the catches at Kansas
Coach
City?
Belichick already tried to trade him. Remember he tried to trade him last year.
Supposedly.
They don't suppose.
I think he took the L on that one.
Yeah, he
took
did.
the L on Brady, too. Right?
So, no, he's not coming back.
Yeah, all I know is he just turned 30 years of
Yes.
age. And even though he's played 9 seasons, he's really only played 7 because he missed 29 games. So that's the equivalent of like 2 years, right? Okay. So what's not to love about this?
Skip, he's just, he's only 30 years of age, but his body is much older than that in football years. He's around 34, 35, Skip, because he's taking a pounding. Those years, the ACL, the elbow surgeries, the knee, the ankle surgeries, the forearm surgeries, Skip, that takes a toll.
Lose some weight, let load management kick in, heal up, and then crank back up in November.
Well, Skip, you need, first of all, if you're going to lose that weight, you need to probably go to training camp and understand how to fall again and how to, take those licks again.
No.
You just don't show up the middle of the season and say, okay, I'm good
Are
to
you
go.
jealous? You're jealous.
No,
Yeah, you are.
no.
Yeah.
You're making a lot
I
of
want no
Patriot
part of the
fans
blitz.
stay today.
I want no parts.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.